Alright, hello everybody. Yes, there's going to be very loud fan noises and things today. That's going to be blowing your ears off. But yeah, we got a pretty cool stream. We got basically the last stream before we possibly leave Guild Wars 2 for ages. And lots of other things. Should be pretty exciting. So what I'm going to do is... Oh god, no, I did not want to open that. Where's my notifications? What I'm going to do is go get some coffee, do a quick little intro, and then we will be ready to go. Now, just to be very clear, we currently have a vote going on, and this is your last day. Oh god, I accidentally closed the stream down. This is your last day to participate in it. So let me grab this and see. Oh god, where is it? Shit. Sorry guys, hold on. I can't even find it right now. Where did I... Well, maybe someone else has got a link to it in chat. There you go, Benji's got it. There, Benji, you're a genius, man. I don't know how you're better at that than I am there. So yeah, click, I'll post it now. There's a poll available of what we're going to do. I will do a full description of those later. In all likelihood, those of you who are already in chat are kind of the, you know, the dedicated people. You probably already know, in which case, hi, by the way. You probably already know the details. So I'll wait a bit until we get a few more other people who are less likely to be following the schedule really closely, and then we'll describe that. But that's going to be going on for the rest of the stream, and it's your last day to vote and see how things go. And yeah, that's about it really. So go get your coffee, go sort yourselves out. Wait. WP, friendly reminder, both Simons are still alive at the bottom of the sea. Love your Soma Let's Play. Dude, why would you remind me of that? When did you... What, did you watch that really recently? Dude, that's kind of cool. I should check the Visualwood comments. I haven't looked at Visualwood comments for... And I don't know when Matt last looked at them. Like a year at least. So, anyone that's commented on any of those videos, I've completely missed. Oh, I don't even know how I could log in at this point. Maybe I should ask Matt. You binge watched it this week. That's cool, dude. Wait, 2 Simons? I know that the first clone you make, these are pretty big spoilers, obviously, because we chose not to kill him or anything. We just left him there to wander around. What did we choose with the lady as well that you meet? Did we choose to have her stay? I guess at the end, yeah, the point was you're just left in the black room, aren't you? Right at the end, just before the credits roll. Anyway, that's cool, dude. Alright, anyway, yeah. So go get your coffee, guys. I'll see you in a second. I've got to do some stuff to get the sun out of this room, because it's ridiculous. And I'm caging myself away and denying myself the last few hours of sun on this wonderful summer to play some Guild Wars. So let's make it worth it. I'll see you guys in a sec. we're back. Hello, 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 hello. All right, we're all good. Now that the coffee is there, can settle down, clear my brain, and be comfortable and happy. Wow, chat's been going. Dude, this is the most I've seen chat go when I've done basically nothing to encourage it. During an intro when, like, no one's watching. What is this? Benji's a better WP than WP. That's very true. Ben Lubar says Chrome is showing the tab as making sound. What? The tab of this stream? Well, anyway, hello. Tiggs TV, it's good to see you. Right, that was the Soma comment. Yeah, one of the clones doesn't get into the Ark. Having a nice winter in the southern hemisphere, said Starglobe 5. Yeah, just trying to make everyone jealous. I don't know, guys. I'm enjoying it. I don't know. I don't know what all the complaining is about. All right. I've realised. I had this realisation a few months ago. I don't do as well in winter as I do in summer. This is good. This is so, like, energizing and bad. Even though, you know, you become a bit of a blob for a while. Because, you know, hot, sticky, sweaty nerds sitting at our desks in the room. Obviously, you know, the sun. But overall, it's great. It does a lot for my mood. A sun does a lot for my mood. It's very, very strange. You sit under a massive aircon vent at work and you've been wearing a jacket. That sounds hilarious. Aircon's way too expensive for me, though. Isn't it, like, really pricey to get aircon and really pricey to run? I mean, the Americans listening to me right now are going to be scratching their head and like, oh my god, what are you talking about? Because everyone has aircon, right? But this very rare thing. Well, not rare, but it's an uncommon thing in the UK. And besides, I could just have this giant, enormous fan blasting on me, which is what you can hear right now. Can you hear as I speak here? My voice is going really weird. That's because I'm speaking into a fan, you see? Yeah, it's janky voice robot effects. We can do it. What's my average income? Are you asking me or someone else about aircon? Surely not me, because I scrolled up really far. You probably missed WP saying I'm going to get coffee. Yeah, indeed, that's what I was doing. Cossage, it's good to see you. Yeah, I checked the Decider Atom wiki page while I was producing today's episode of the LP, Cossage, because I was wondering if you'd ever gone and updated it and seen the new dialogue. But I can't remember what it was that I'd observed was new anymore and was missing, so it wasn't very good. You hope ArenaNet will invest in lore videos with concept art to tell promotional mini-stories like Blizzard has done for WoW expansions such as Legion, Battle for Azeroth. The recent Jaina one was well made where the visuals and music told the story. I mean, I'm in favour of anything that adds to the lore base. But again, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I really do. Because when it's not in-game, it does seem to be not particularly healthy for the scene as a whole. It's more like things to corral and grab together to have like a unifying franchise. And so like when new writers come in 10 years from now, how many different sources are they looking for? You know, there's just a lot of things like that, and fans too. I don't know. I'm all for all of it as long as it can be integrated at some point, you know, in any way. You know, games that do bonus features for getting collectibles and then you get concept art and short stories, you know, that you find on console games all the time. Even that I would be an advocate for, just as long as it's got that avenue in there, you know. Anyway, WPs won't necessarily reach all potential customers. What's this? Why would they invest when WP does it for them for free? What are you talking about? You talking about the devs making more lore or summing up their own lore? Why would the devs do that when they have community members such as me, but not exclusively me, that do that? Generally speaking, I don't think they have the resources or funds to do that much stuff, so. The Visualwood podcasts are in a reverse in the playlist, are they? Oh, that's unfortunate. It probably made more sense to have them in reverse as we were releasing them. WP feels comfy in hell, confirmed. It's not hell, it's great, man. Look, you just got to get... Here's what you do. You go to your local Tesco's, Asda, Waitrose if you're a posh bastard, Morrison's, whatever, alright? You go to the frozen section, and you just get like 20 bags of ice, alright? You'll get some funny looks, but you get like 20 bags of ice. Or you do this online shopping, because robots pack the bags now, so no one will ever judge you. You get like 20 bags of ice, you go buy a little kiddie paddling pool, you fill it up, and you just pour all the ice in it. Then you get out in your tighty whities, right there for all your neighbours to see, and you sit squarely in that freezing cold paddling pool, and you drink a beer. And you may look like a trash can, like a trashy person, but you are 10 out of 10 in heaven. All right? How to deal with summer. I do that every morning. That's my routine. I record from the kiddie pool when I'm doing my Let's Play episodes. The complaining is about having to turn my max FPS lower in summer. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the computers not liking it. Wait, George just did a stream involving him looking for aircons, and they were all sold out or expensive. That's hilarious. That's very, very funny. I had Deraw did a funny stream where he essentially cross-dressed during the week as well. I never did watch it in the end, but people were talking about it in Discord. No, we do have it. It's just not common. Not in houses. Isn't AC less expensive than heating per degree? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just a little boy that's found himself at an age where he's supposed to be an adult. And he's supposed to know things about the world. And he doesn't. That's me. That's me. Do you eat the potatoes after recording them or throw them away? I need a counter for the amount of times people ask that. Yes, I ate them. I think. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Or you go to the frozen section and just move in. Yeah, I was thinking of that as I was saying that. So Horace, I was thinking of just saying you just sit in there. It made me think of that Simpsons moment where the old man gets trapped in there. I don't know that old man's name. Abe Simpson's like friend or whatever. You can't be hot if you live in your parents' basement. Wouldn't I mean, I've never really been in a basement, not of a house anyway. I've never been to a house with a basement ever. Not like a normal house. Maybe like a manor kind of style place. But, do they get hot? I would assume it gets hot in a basement. I'd assume it gets bloody boiling, wouldn't it? Well, I'm late, but I'm so late. But so is WP. Listen, I wanted to say this. People were saying in chat, we're starting about half an hour earlier because of the sun today. I just want to be very clear. There's a big difference between me being late and me being later. If I'm very explicit with everyone, I say the stream will start a bit later. That's not I'm late, alright? That's that the stream is starting later, alright? It's a difference. There's a big difference right there, alright? And I resent the suggestion that it's a late stream when I'm very clear that it's going to be starting past the normal designated beginning time. Our wizard arrives exactly when he plans to arrive, okay? Basements are 5 to 10 degrees colder than the main floor? What? Really? Yeah, heat rises, but also Earth is a fantastic insulator. And if you go down, like if you go in a cave complexes are ridiculously hot. The lower you go, and I know what I'm talking about is very deep there, and a basement's not exactly the same, but you'd think that the rules apply, right? That essentially if there's not much opportunity to vent the heat that is generated by a human body and appliances and stuff in a basement, and the ground itself is just heating up and getting baked in, surely a basement would get quite hot. I think that's a reasonable thought. I guess caves near the surface are cool, and then they only get hot when you go low. WP, I'm glad you... I don't really mind that much. I'm just being a petty bastard. Right, okay. Let me just want to explain something, guys. We are currently doing a bit of a chill, intermediary, transitionary stream. You can see the title of today's stream is really shit, and it's unlikely to get anyone to click it, and it's because... this stream is really for the guild and the established community, and we're just kind of relaxing as we move between two projects. 3, if you will, actually. We did a ton of stuff on... the most recent festival last weekend. Before that, we did 3 weekends back to back on Corner and the new release. Before that, we were doing Path of Fire playthrough for several weeks in a row. Well, the POF playthrough is done, the festival stuff is done, the Corner stuff is done. So we're now at a point where it's like, what do we want to do? Well, one big thing that's been going on. So let me. This is where I'd edit in a video. So we're at a point where we want to know where we want to do. And I created a poll, a straw poll last weekend announcing this fact where you guys can determine what it is. Now, in truth, I don't really respect that you guys know what you want. Like, so it wasn't meant... whenever I straw poll it, it's not meant to be, oh, I will bow to your will 100%. I just want to get a vibe of what the community likes the sound of, right? So I put up a straw poll with multiple options. One of them was to do a 0, and I'll read these out now fully for you guys so you understand the stakes, and then I'm going to link it to you, and if this is the first you're hearing about it, you'll have the chance to post, and what I want you to do is make your vote, okay? So, I've lost the link again. Benji! I've lost the link. Where is it? Let me scroll up. Maybe he's got it up there still. No, there's been too much chat already. Can someone put the link in chat just so that everyone can see it? Yeah, basically people will think, oh, that sounds really exciting, and then they'll realize it's not, and they'll leave, and then we're subjected to months-long project that you've all fucked off from. Yeah, I believe that people don't know what they want, 100%. So, and no, I don't think chat can be fully trusted. But so here are the proposals. One of them was to go back to PvP, to get daily ATs running again, to look at the monthlies. I did all of that prep. We never did a monthly in the end. To maybe do 0 to hero style free-to-play PvP, to see how we queue, to show you guys a lot of the meta builds, to reignite your enthusiasm and love for what's great about PvP, to teach you about a lot of it, you know, just PvP dedicated streams, which I love playing PvP. I love sharing PvP, particularly casting and stuff I enjoy. I didn't really like how twattish some people in the community got the second I tried to produce content for it, and I don't like queuing for when I play bad, which is always when I stream. I just become a much worse player. It frustrates me to no end. So I'm a little bit mixed on it, but I do like sharing that, and I kind of think, oh, I put all of that work in and didn't really go very far with it. So if you love the PvP stuff, I'm happy to go back to that for a while, right? So back to PvP. Another idea we have is to play Guild Wars 1. So Guild Wars 1 had the graphics updates recently. It's got more updates pending, it seems, from Bill. It's got lots of streamers have gone back to it recently. I have a free copy of Guild Wars 1. Oh, I was going to give away, or I can just use that for the account, for this series. But there's a lot of cool reasons to go back to Guild Wars 1. To look at it, there's kind of some renewed hype and enthusiasm. There was the AFC and stuff. There's also the fact that the next expansion might be Cantha, and if the devs do this, it's similar to how they did with Path of Fire, you might find they just do announcement release really quickly. And we wouldn't have time to go back and properly look at Cantha, so it might be cool to do a Cantha playthrough now on streams, get us all understanding and excited and remind ourselves of that area of the world, so that in about 12 months, when an expansion announcement is due, boom, we're sort of, you know, at least a little bit fresh. That coincidentally occurred when, with the Path of Fire thing, I did a Nightfall stream series, and then lo and behold, it was Nightfall was the next expansion, and that was just complete good fortune for us. So what if we try and preempt some good fortune this time? We do a Cantha thing. On top of that, there's the Cantha main campaign, but also there's Living World after that, or as it was known in Guild Wars 1. What was it known in Guild Wars 1 again? Guild Wars Beyond, right? So we could do that. Nightfall never had a Guild Wars Beyond campaign, but this does. It's called Winds of Change, and it's really hard and really badass, and I've played it once, and I've forgotten a lot of the details. I already have a Let's Play on it. So, yeah, I like the sound of this. There are some things that hold me back. I've already played Guild Wars 1. I don't want to feel like I'm constantly going in circles in my adult life. I also am a bit concerned that a lot of you might think you want to watch that, and then, like I said a second ago, you'll tune in to, like, 2 episodes, and you'll be like, okay, I've had my fill of nostalgia now. I'm leaving. But it's a huge project for us to do that will take us months. And last time, basically, this is what happened with Nightfall. I said, people, do you want to watch Nightfall? And everyone was really excited and enthusiastic at the start of Nightfall. But before we even left Istan, everyone, you know, I think basically a lot of people realized, oh, this is an old game. I'm a late 2010s gamer. I don't like old games anymore. I'm not going to watch this. And like all the enthusiasm just kind of evaporated. I still had fun, but I am trying to earn a living here, I guess. I don't know. I don't want this to be a sob story. I just want to do a series that isn't going to self-destruct, basically. And I'm a little bit worried Winds of Change might do that, in that we basically saw Nightfall do that a bit. Anyway, so that's that. PvP, Guild Wars 1. There's also 0 to Hero we did a few years ago, where basically we went to a new account completely in Guild Wars 1, and we went all the way up to raid ready. And I did that to show to people that it's not that hard, that it's not that gear dependent, that it's not some insurmountable challenge. I counted every hour, and I did a really long sort of study of it and sum up discussion on it on the main channel afterwards. And I noted many times as we did that raiding isn't it hard to get an account to be raid ready at all. Like one character that you can then do clears on, it's not hard. What is much longer journey though from absolutely nothing is fractals. So that's interesting to me because it would take, but I mean we are talking this would take us up to New Year's and longer to do this on streams. This is a huge endeavor, and Zero to Hero Fractals, I think a lot of us as nerds already playing Guild Wars would be interested in, but probably not many other people. There's a lot of like complete noobs and beginners and just dimwits out there that have just come to Guild Wars and they see the word raid and they're like, oh, I want to know what it is to raid, because they know what like raiding is from when they played Aeon or WoW or whatever. So it's like translatable. People don't... The excitement and interest in why Zero to Hero Fractals is interesting is you have to be a bit more intelligent when it comes to Guild Wars. So that means we would... I don't know how many people would be interested in that, basically. It's kind of the same as the Winds of Change thing. But, I mean, I'm vaguely interested in it, and I think it would be relevant for people. And then lastly, challenge runs and stuff. We have the Mirror. You know, playing Guild Wars with the Mirror, if you guys remember that. We have Merciless that we set up. We could take that into Heart of Thorns. We've got... You know, we could go into the POF territories. We could go into Living World Season territories. There's all kinds of stuff like that we could do as well. There is a hidden option number 5 that I've been thinking of, but it would have to be a co-op series, so I might have to get in touch with Boots or something, but he's MIA at the moment, so I don't know about that last one. But so those are the offers. That's what we've got. And I'm happy with all of them. I'm excited about all of them. That's why they're all available on the post. But, you know, I've got pros and cons for all of them, which hopefully I've well expressed there and been perfectly candid about. You guys can vote on it. Currently, it probably tarnishes the poll a little bit, but currently the results are heavily in favour of Guild Wars 1, Cantha and Winds of Change. Slightly below that is Fractal's edition of Hero. Well, not slight, a fair clip below that is Zero to Hero. A clip below that is back to PvP, and Merciless and Challenge runs are at the very bottom, so people really aren't that excited about that stuff. But that's what the voting and the polling is for at the moment. So yeah, you guys can throw that in there. This is your last opportunity to vote, because today we're doing the stuff with the guilds, and then we're moving to the new project, whatever that may be. I'll note on the Guild Wars 1 thing as well that you will, as a stream, be able to interact with me. I will play with stream viewers. You guys will be able to vote on my build. What I think I'll do if we do the Guild Wars 1 is I will not use my regular Guild Wars 1 account. I will use a totally fresh one. One of the GMs is actually, Hawkdest, I think it is making a Guild Wars 1 Spud Club. And what we'll do is I will be on a fully new account, like... Literally, it will be as nothing, and I will make a character in factions, and any of you guys can do that with me. You can make completely new accounts with me if you've never played Guild Wars 1 before, and as long as you tune in on all the streams, you will be able to play with me the whole way up, and you'll be able to follow me toe for toe. I'll be on, you know, a warrior, you'll be on an elementalist, a mesmer or whatever, and we'll go up. Obviously, there's party size limits, but you guys can play in parallel. We can go up, and not only that, even if you're not looking to play with me in Guild Wars 1, I will let you guys choose what attribute lines we go down. I will let you choose what skills we run. Twitch chat will have full control over my build, and on a deeper level as well, people will actually be able to play with me. Which will be a bit different to how we did Nightfall, where I was playing only with heroes, and you guys were voting on all the hero builds. So we'll do that, and we'll get through Cantha, and then we'll go and do Winds of Change afterwards. Or we can just cut it off after Cantha if the viewers are gone and it's all shit. Yeah, you guys will get to vote whether we're Kurzik or Luxon. So there's a lot. I'm excited about it. But, yeah, it's there you go. All right, that's been a huge chat there. Hawk will make a new guild if the owner of the old unofficial Spud Club does... There's already a Spud Club in Guild Wars 1? See, I never really made any of these things. The Spud Club, literally, in-game, that we're about to log into now, let's do it, is, I never even made this. I literally did like a stream and a guy was like, hey, I made a guild so that everyone who Zergs with you can come. And I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, do you want leader? And I was like, all right. And that's how it was made, you know? You like Merciless because they show off some unique lore most people don't see? I thought you were going to say it shows off unique mechanics people don't see, which I think is also kind of fair. It makes you think about buildcraft in a way that most people never would. I guess, yeah, it's an opportunity. I don't know. My main fear with the Merciless and stuff, I have to be honest, it's pretty low on my list, but only because I hate ranting about the same... even though I do it like a stupid primate that has no control over his own mouth or brain... Even though I constantly do it, I do kind of cringe at myself constantly talking about the same stuff. And whenever we go into the Corteria, there will be something that just like makes me annoyed, and then it will just be and I know it's a joke and some people like it, but I genuinely don't. I would rather have like a 2 to 3 year break from all that subject material and then come back and whine about it later. But yeah. Oh, that's what you meant by law? What? Alright, well, anyway. I'm sure Twitch viewers will enjoy it when WP encounters Kappas in Cantha. Makes me wonder if they survived to Guild Wars 2 as a species seem to have disappeared. Yeah, I know. I wonder how the Guild Wars 2 devs will deal with that. Kappas in the sequel. I mean, they've got to, right? I guess it depends how much they care about Twitch viewers. To be honest, Twitch is, like, not very good for Guild Wars, so... And it's not even streaming. Like, when the devs do an official stream, there are more viewers on YouTube streaming watching than there are on Twitch. And, I mean, most Twitch streams that are vaguely successful are PvP ones, which, as a broad body of individuals, I think ArenaNet don't care about that much. So, it's just... I don't know whether they even will have any regard whatsoever for Kappas. Maybe a lot of the rest of gaming is... becoming more Twitch-centric and pandering to Twitch streamers, but I'm not sure whether ArenaNet are. Just because Guild Wars doesn't really make its bread and butter there. Most MMOs don't, to be fair. Right. Do you think our ex-game director Colin Johansson plays Guild Wars or follows its development? From what I understand, which is admittedly very little, he did really seem like a genuine fan of the product. And it wouldn't surprise me at all, and I'm not cynical at the thought that some of those ex-devs still play and still follow it. I'm really not. Because whatever way you cut it, someone might leave the company because they want a fresh avenue creatively, they might disagree with management, they might disagree with individual co-workers or whatever. But if you've been, and I mean Colin especially, as a person that was there for years and years and years, I don't really believe any reasonable, rational human being cuts all ties so immaculately like that. It's not like when people leave companies in the real world, they're throwing ridiculous hissy fits and, like, burning all bridges. You know? I can imagine any number of them would still be fans and at least give a tertiary look back to this game and its success. Like, what was... I mean, everyone hears about the Amazon transition recently, but... back before Guild Wars 2 came out, what's it called? I keep forgetting. What's the zombie game? I'm so bad at this. Anyway, look, there have been multiple times when many devs have left to go work on something else, you know, and I can imagine any of them would still be fans of Guild Wars. I don't know why we have to think it's all hysterical, you know, in the transition. They might lose respect for individuals or the broader direction of the product they're originally working on. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of creative difference there, but... people don't throw little fits and stamp their feet. State of Decay, thank you. All the State of Decay devs, I'm sure look back and glance back here. Even, and I'll give you this, if at least one thing is true, they want to monitor the success of Guild Wars 2 compared to the success of their new product. That has to be there. That has to be there. You know, what's that quote? Who is it? Was it Churchill that said it? Someone has this really powerful quote, which is, there's nothing worse than the success of a dear friend, right? Which is basically this premise that if you're in a similar industry, like you're both game devs and you both worked on something, but you have creative differences and you move away, they'll be like covetously looking over their shoulder at their you know, their exes to see, oh, are they doing better than me? Are they? Oh, you know, there will be that. There will absolutely be that. Human beings are petty, jealous bastards. So at least that would be there. Which maybe isn't a very positively motivated sense of why they might keep tabs on Guild Wars, but it's probably there for at least one of them. Am I playing on EU right now? Actually, no, I'm not. That's a very good point. I should go to the NA. So yeah, we're going to do a tour. Are we going to get a guided tour from the GMs? What's the situation there? Oh, I slip of the tongue. I said DMs. I'm revealing the upcoming Guild Wars Spuds Dungeons and Dragons book club set interior plans, which I'm not meant to be talking about. That's all bullshit and a lie, but yeah. State of Decay is good, but don't play it. Great. Why don't play it? I've never played it, but it's one of those weird things where I know more people than I'd expect that have played it. And isn't State of Decay 2 out now? Do you think other Guild Wars 2 YouTubers look? No, I mean I'm a small fish, man. Nobody looks at me that way. Definitely not. That sounds too detailed to be made up. No, wait, what? The State of Decay 2 thing? No, I just believe in that very much. I don't know whether it was a Churchill quote, but it does speak to me. I think that's a very true thing. You guys can't honestly tell me you don't go to Facebook pages of your mates from years ago just to see how successful they might be, or that might come across your mind at some point. You can't tell me that people don't have those impulses. Humans have those impulses. So if you're in a successful game that's, you know, trending in a direction like Guild Wars 2, and you go off to make a new one, and it bombs, I'm not saying that every product every ex-ArenaNet employee's done has gone on to bomb, but if it did, you'd look back. You wouldn't be invested in your own future without making comparisons to others. I mean, people say that's a great source of anxiety in the world, right? And people shouldn't. Your only competition is your past self, no one else. But, you know, those are easy things to say, hard things to live to. We're skirting around therapy session here, aren't we? I'm probably making myself look like I've got all these neuroses. I just think that's a facet of people. When I see them having babies at 18, I don't consider that a success. Well, when their babies that they had when they were young end up becoming CEOs of multi-million-dollar corporations and they're getting sweet-ass kickbacks, then maybe you will see it as success. That's why people have kids when they're young, right? To reap the rewards. Children are basically like farms, you know? They're just long-term investments. That's why you got to get them into good schools and stuff, so you can reap the rewards later. You get, like, kidneys from them if yours goes bad. There's all kinds of perks. All kinds. Yeah, maybe it's not so true with mates. I mean, I honestly can't say I relate to that. With people that I consider friends, I don't really consider that. But I think when it comes to co-workers and that idea, particularly if there's like a competitive spirit there, I do think you would feel that. Kids and meat farms. All right, okay, guys. All right. So, I invite any member of the Spud Club to join along. Now, remember, the Spud Club is our EU branch. People didn't really have... I think they had reasonable notice that this was going on. And yeah, just to set the stage for what's actually happening here. Path of Fire came out almost a year ago now. And it came with a new guild hall. And we have never swapped to that hall yet for this guild. Spud Club 2 has been at that hall and has been building it up and blah, blah, blah. But now that we're strictly NAEU, there's no reason to delay this one moving over. And, you know, they'll both be free-willed and stuff. Last, I think we saw, we were on streams, I built all of these. So these are Path of Fire decorations, these enormous flags and things, and they are badass. I built basically tons of them to sort of create a more closed-in feeling on the hall. Like there are walls everywhere. A bit like, do you remember when we made that underground style Super Adventure Box hall? Some of those were really good. I'd love to do some of those themes again. There's so much I'd love to do with the guilds. Anyway, we were showing all of these off. We did a stream. It was a few months ago now. You know, these statues were new POF stuff. It might have been off stream. I came and I dropped all of these flags. What are we, sails, I think they're called? I dropped all of these sails everywhere. But yeah, the idea was just wherever you can look out to far away, I was trying to close it all in. So this is my contribution to the current state of the hall. But then, since then, we had another round of SAB stuff, which I think we streamed. But now we've got the Labyrinthine Cliffs, which had a ton of new decorations. They have these bridges, which, as far as I understand, with the addition of the Rollerbeetles, some of the GMs have scribed up and made a course. So I think there's 2 courses here. I know one of them, so I'm going to walk to one now. We'll do the first circuit, and then I'll see where the other one might be. But basically what this stream is just showing off the state of the hall. It's honestly not that impressive what we've got going on the hall right now. It's nowhere near the magical forest and things we've done in the past and the floating islands. It's not been a big formal themed event that I've pushed through streams and stuff. But we did want to just show what it's like before it all basically gets deleted as we swap halls. And what we're going to do is play that very rarely seen content where you swap to the Windswept Haven, which, as you guys know, is very infrequently seen. I think this is the course here. So you'll be able to play that in a squad on stream here today, which hopefully will be fun for people. In fact, I'll squad up now so that throughout the stream you guys can filter in. That's available to everyone watching. You do not have to be a member of the EU Spud Club to be able to do this. Just as long as you're playing on EU servers, you can come help us out in our pursuit of acquiring this new hall. Without the waypoint, I don't know how to do this. So, yeah, but that will be in maybe like 20 minutes or so after we've shown these off. Please don't clear the hall until after you move. It says, Dear Connor, do you want to see all the decorations floating around and stuff then? Yeah, the Guildhall raid. We've actually already shown it off on a stream. When POF came out and Spud 2 got the Windswept Haven, where they still are to this day, we did show it off already. But yeah. So yeah, if everybody wants to come race, I'm well up for that. Oh, we can enable low gravity on ourselves. Can you put low gravity on mounts and then do a low gravity? Oh shit, you can. What is a low gravity Rollerbeetle like? What? That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna re-enable regular gravity. Yeah, we can do a mini race if you guys want. I don't mind. I mean, I'm not gonna win it. We all know this. Don't have the Beetle on EU. Feels bad, man. Do you think we'll be able to get Spud NA to Magical Forest levels? How long did it take for Spud EU? Like 2 years. Oh. Here's the thing. You are looking at, when you look at Spud 1 storage, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of gold. I mean, that's not buttering it up. Like, we did regular scribe sessions where 10k plus gold would be spent. And when we say we, I mean mostly me. It's almost been entirely me that scribed this stuff. We do have other scribes floating around, and in the early days we had some scribes that did a lot, and more recently we've had scribes doing a bit. But I mean, I would have scribing sessions where I would sit down and do thousands and thousands and thousands of gold of stuff. Like, even seemingly small elements of our haul, like having 100 of every single type of balloon, we're talking hundreds of hours at least. I mean, balloons are cheap. We're just throwing stuff through the assembly. So it's not really a matter of it taking 2 years. It's a matter of enormous crowdfunding on the scale of which to get an equivalent in Spud 2 would... I mean, I just don't see how it's feasible, ever. I really don't. I don't know how I, as the head of that community, could ever drive that many funds. Like, look at 2 years ago Christmas when we did the Snowflake drive. That alone, just for some blocks, what you're looking at here, this alone is, what, probably like 20k gold? I mean, and a lot of it fluctuates with the economy as well. Like, the trees, what was the really huge amount? I guess it was this. 400 Ascalonian trees. Each tree cost like a lumber core that alone was like 10 gold or something when we were buying them. Well, there's lots of really cheap ass lumber cores now, but one of them used to be really expensive. That might be cheaper now, so maybe that's easier for Spud 2. Yeah, these are all piss easy now. So it might be possible. Mushrooms used to be really expensive as well. If I type mushroom, yeah, these are still 4 gold, but you need like one of those. Every single mushroom thing you see, you need like at least one. It's like 1 to make a mushroom, and then you need 2 to make it a squat one, and then 3 to make it a squat thorny one, and then a crooked squat thorny one. It's, I don't know. Maybe me just going on and on, oh, it's a lot of money, won't quite get you there. There's the gold statues as well. I mean, some of those are really difficult as well. We don't even have those finished yet. right? I don't even think we have, like, gold. We don't have a gold chuck. We might actually have some of these. I just haven't crafted them up at this point. But, like, the raid ones are all easy. No one gives a fuck about raid ones. Raid ones are piss easy and no one's ever cared. But, like, gold triple trouble, I still don't know how close we are to that. We have Google Docs describing all of this stuff. The idea of getting Spud 2 to that level is nuts. I would love to have gold triple trouble, but I mean, if I was a full-time GM in this guild, that's just like, as I dedicated all my time to that alone, I'd have like runs of these going all the time because I'm really thrilled about these. There's only like 2 guilds in all of Guild Wars that have the full set of golds, and even those guilds are nowhere near us in terms of regular decoration drives, you know, in terms of just pure cash. So I don't know. I don't know. This is all one massive humble brag, I guess. But the point is that Spud 2, for that to become on an equivalent level of decorations, we'd need some gods from NA. I mean, you need a proper whale. You'd need one of these people that has like 6-digit gold easily. You'd need someone with 100k gold to say, all right, I'm giving it all to you. Remember when WP described a small distance as a bee's dick? Yeah, that's actually a saying. I got that from my girlfriend, but yeah, that is a saying. I didn't just invent that. All right, they've all just left without me. Oh, okay, because the map's closing. If Spud 2 can recruit a genuine whale, then they can do it. But we need a genuine whale. Let's go up the ramp here. Where you are, it's a midge's dick. There, I've heard midge's dick as well. Anyway, look, stop talking about willies, guys. This is PG-13. All right? Okay. Does the GM want to count us in? Or should I? I guess I should. Fuck it, I will. All right, on my mark. Get set. Go! When do I boost? Alright, so you guys have actually seen this on stream already. We need to do tricks, but not lose our stuff. So that's good. Let's drift and gain more boost power. I'll boost here, I guess. Oh, if we'd gone far enough, we might have been pretty good there. So there's new, obviously, beetle improvements since last time we played. So I think we get a lot more endurance than the original race course makers were expecting. Got to get up that. That one was a tricky one. Okay. Didn't quite get enough tricks. We might be able to boost up those soon. Come on. Keep going. Oh, we go. That's it, baby. I'm off. Okay, now it gets kind of hard around on the insides. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, oh. We're going to get overtaken, though, by that guy if we're not careful. Oh, I see you, Fammy. I'm going to go on the inside with some drift potential right there. Wasn't there, like, a really dodgy... Oh, no, he's got more momentum there than us. It's on the right, isn't it? No, that's fine. Oh, no! That was the dodgy bit. We just about made it. It's okay. Oh, my God, he made it too. Get out of here! Drift and turn. And we hit the wall, so we get a ton of endurance from that. Yeah! Right at the end. Snuck that one in. Snuck. Okay, alright. So anyway, that's the first course that I knew, which is a little shorter, I think, maybe? I don't know where the other course is. Does anyone want to lead us? I guess Family can lead us. The dragon boat is pretty ridiculous, to be honest. I should get a character like this, like a big, like, regular humanoid. I don't have any characters that are big, regular humanoids. All my big characters are, like, Char and, like, way out of proportion Norn and stuff. And all my small characters are, like, well, Asura. And you can't see any of the skins. Isn't the other one the skimmer one? Oh, the original skimmer race we had from a while ago. Then that would be starting down here, wouldn't it? Liz has finished the race in first place. Indeed, thank you. All I can think of is that video edit with WP geographical strats. Yeah, so Dog's in chat. So everybody, the person who made that super edit did it just off of their own back. It's Dargo Turtle in chat right now. So if you guys liked that super edit or had any comments for that format, that style of content, let Darg know. And where they see it's possible, they might do more. If we go to Guild Wars 1 now, I'm not sure what that will be. We'll definitely do at least one moment on one of the streams. I don't know whether we'll dedicate a whole one to it. But we will fill up the Xingji Monastery Arena where nobody ever plays. We will definitely at least do that. And if that's really good, we might get a super edit out of it. I don't know. Viewership was pretty low at the same time, but maybe that's just because people don't care about Aspect Arena and the festival videos in general. I'm not entirely sure, but I know I enjoyed it, which is why I wanted to put up, because at the end of the day, my tastes are going to count for something. So yeah, we got this. I'll wait for everybody to get on their skimmers and come along. I had one comment just before this stream, Doug. I'm going to bum you out here. I had one comment. Oh, you guys can't even hear the game. What the f... I had one comment where basically someone said that they didn't like the white text, that it seemed like not me. Because, you know, I'm Wood of Potatoes. I got to be really dry and boring and devoid of humor, and it's got to be all serious all the time, right? Like, when I don't laugh, and you should feel bad for laughing. The internet is for more than just fun and games, people, and you should be ashamed of yourself for upvoting Maymays and all this other crap. So anyway, I get that I give people that vibe a little bit, and then the white text was like trying to have fun, so someone there didn't like it. But yeah, I don't know. Am I going for the Ranty no skill challenge? Oh yes, yes. I mean, Dark actually already did a super edit of that. But I've got lots of problems with it because I'm too scared I look like a freak that's like genuinely hates playing the game and stuff. So I've asked for a few edits and we're seeing what we can do to creatively match up on that one. But yeah, I'm hoping to put that up as well. All right, okay. Everybody ready? On my mark. Oh. On my mark. Get set. Wait for it. Get set. Go! Alright, I'm being a bit of a dick. It's not really hating fun and saying you're not allowed to have fun. It's just, I don't know. I feel like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde a lot of times. Like, sometimes I really, really know what people mean. Like, juvenile jokes and people just like... I don't know. It just... I hate it. Sometimes I'm just such a grumpy old bastard. Like the word doggo. And pupper and stuff like that, like really, really aggravates me, like to no end. So sometimes I really feel that way. Other times I'm like, just relax. You know what I mean? Just chill out. Just let people do what they want. So I don't know. I just I get that conflict there. So I'm forgiving of people who are one way one day and people who are another way another day. It tends to be if I'm by myself too much and I get like all grumpy, but if I'm with other people I lighten up a lot. That's probably, and I'm just jokey and idiotic. That's probably some part of it. Did everyone just cheat? No, I think they took a built-in shortcut and I went the scenic route. It's okay because I'm still with the stack. It's all right. ArenaNet were really good with the development of this. Oh shit, the maze. There's actual like, what's it called, drafting along. I just got to stay in the wake of some of these other people, build my strength up, and then sprint at the finish line, and I'll make it. Crap. Or I won't make it because I'm like 100% stuck and turned around right now. Is it this way? Are we through? Is this the right way? I hope it's the right way. I'm moving, baby. Am I going the wrong way? I might be going the wrong way. Did we already come through this? My memory's so bad. We have already come through this. That's probably a sign I'm going the wrong way, right? Who's wrong? Is it the children wrong or is it me? I think it's me. We'll go this way. Random question, but do I share my sub count? I don't even know what my sub count is. I'm pretty sure you can just type an emote, can't you? A command, and it throws it up. Yeah, I went backwards. Hey, the frames are good in your stream in 1080p. What's the deal? Oh, did I not talk about that on the stream yet? I thought I did. Yeah, Windows Focus Assist. Turn that crap off, man. I went from like 45 frames to 90 just by turning Focus Assist off. Now, let me be very clear. I already knew about Windows Focus Assist from Windows 10, and I already knew that was a problem, and I already thought I'd turned it off, as you, dear Twitch viewer, probably also think. However, what I realized is that if you press the Windows key, if you're on Windows 10 right now, as you listen to me right now, press the Windows key, type Focus Assist, and hit Enter. I might be going the wrong way again, by the way. Yeah, I totally am, aren't I? When the window comes up, you will see a global toggle at the top, and it says Disable Windows Focus Assist, which I had toggled off and been like, nah, I'm done, and then I left, right? But little did I know, in my hubris, in my foolhardiness, little did I realize that there are more toggles lower down that are still on, and even though you've globally turned it off, the ones lower down are still having an impact. And I think very specifically, the one at the very bottom is like, use Windows Focus Assist for gaming or full-screened apps or windowed full screen or something like that. And it was the very bottom one that during this week, I flicked that bad boy off, and I gained a ton of frames. I also did lots of little things. I cleared my cache out and stuff like that. I spent a long time messing with FPS last week, but that gave me a ton of frames once I was done with that. And yeah, that was one of the things that gave me confidence to get back to the LP, because I knew I was getting the full 60. So yeah, the stream settings are just set up from before right now, which is 1080. What does it do? It's supposed to be a thing like, I don't know what it does, because one of the features Windows 7 added, if I remember rightly, is that you could mouse over a window without actually clicking on it. And if you use the scroll wheel while moused over an unactive window, it would allow you to scroll in the window even though you haven't changed focus. And that's a really useful, cool feature that I use constantly and still do. But I'm pretty sure that came from Windows 7. Again, that's mousing over a window that is not focused. The scroll activates anyway. And that sounds like that's what Focus Assist should be, but it's not. I think it's something else. But yeah, it was a frame killer for me in Guild Wars. Not just in Guild Wars, lots of games, actually, to tell the truth. I've been playing a little bit of Ark Survival Evolved in a relentless pursuit to try and have a life outside of Guild Wars. And I'm still a bit iffy about the game, but I got a load of frames from that by disabling Focus Assist as well. Not that I'm an expert on Ark or really know anything about it, but... Well, anyway, you saw one lap. There you go. It's pretty cool. I do like this. And this is quite old, this part. Do we have any plans? Are any GMs around? Do we have plans for a proper theme as soon as Spud Club gets to the new hall? Are we going to do a Magic Forest there? Are we going to do a Sky Palace? What are we thinking of? So, hold on though. Someone has scribed here since the new decorations, because I never built these bridges. These walkways up here, this second floor, I never built this. But look, you've got some little details here. This is nice. With some chairs. Obviously, you can sit in chairs now, remember. That's an update from Guild Halls. So not only can you sit in chairs... Oh my god, that's a beautiful clip right there. Oh my god, it's a clip technique. Oh, that is really cool. You can use a chair to clip into stuff. Anyway, you got the chairs and now the chair animations and all of that stuff. What else was there that's been added to? Next theme will be an Alolan theme. Okay, that's interesting, Fariner. Fariner, is there anywhere else in this hall that I need to check before we change, before we move? Is there any aspect of it someone's decorated? Because I don't want to... An idea for the Guild Wars 1 stream schedule should be a Guild Wars 2 stream on Saturday, then 2 Guild Wars 1 streams on Sunday and Monday. That way you retain some of the viewers you built up over the past year from your last Guild Wars 1 excursion, if it wins the poll. I'm not sure I get the logic there, Dead Zerler. Can you rephrase that? How does WP break something every stream? What do you mean? Like cutting the audio out accidentally? That's the course we were looking at before. It's just the races and the hub area at the start. Okay, that's fair. We're nowhere near global cap, by the way, in this hall. So, it looks like someone did stuff over here, so... But is this meant to be a part of the skimmer race? This is decorations for that. Hey, what is this number at the bottom of the options menu? Yeah, 91. Yeah, that's their build number. That's the build number. Guild Wars doesn't really market or brand its version numbers. Like Stellaris, it's, you know, the version number's a big thing. Like, oh, the big 2.1, 2.2 update. Oh, we're going to 3.0. It signifies big changes to tiles, stuff like that. A lot of games do the build number. Guild Wars doesn't really. They've never done that, but it is present on the options screen. And internally, I'm sure that they focus heavily on it. Yeah, it's not number of updates, but it is a build number, so there can be lots of builds that are done internally before one is pushed to the public. So we as the public have not had 91,000 different separate updates to Guild Wars. But internally, I believe that is actually what's happened. Or it has some developer meaning. Yeah. This is cool as well, by the way. I've always thought there should be cool stuff we can do with the Cordicus decorations from Lake Doric. These are still fairly new as a concept to me. You guys did really good with the skimmer race. I know I complimented it endlessly way back when, but it is really good. I like the efforts that people went to. How many times the game has been recompiled? I guess. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to have any fucking clue. I don't know. Dwarf Fortress follow... I mean, yeah, how you number your release in any software, it's a stylistic choice, really, right? Like, it's not a hard and fast rule. It just depends whatever the team of engineers decides on. And again, it also depends whether you marry it into a branding thing and a public awareness thing or not. Guild Wars doesn't, other games do. I watched your Tempest rework video recently, and that was just excellent, just by the way. Really? Do you think so? Those are the kind of videos that I lose confidence in immediately because I feel like I go off the deep end. You know. But that's cool. I'm glad you said that, dude. Hey, look, there's someone built a proper bar here. All right, Spud, are you ready? Are you ready to leave the best guild hall? Which, by the way, this totally is. The Lost Precipice is the best guild hall. Come at me. Are you ready to go to Alona for the first time in your history? I think you are, aren't you? Let's do it. I always like this moment on these streams. We get a cutscene now, guys. Oh, I need 100 gold to do this, don't I? I guess I can just take it out of the coffers. Maybe that'll be something for Elite Speculation. I do want to bring Elite Speculation back. That poor Boots, there's a lot of different things I want to do with him right now. A lot. But it's a struggle to make time for each other to work at the moment. Lost Precipice is lame. Can we get a temp ban on that person? KIPXYZ. They're expressing an opinion that I do not agree with. So can we please ban them for a little while just to make them think twice before going against the circle jerk I'm trying to create? That's outlandish. How dare you? Like maybe like a 2-week ban? Something? Can we do that? Rav actually did it. Oh no, he did it. 113 seconds. No, get owned. Slap the dick out of their mouths. All right, here we go. Guild Initiative headquarters. Oh, I need to actually rep the correct guild though. Is that a Crimson Lion weapon? It is. It's the Crimson Lion rifle, which I figure matches the color scheme of my amazing Fashion Wars 2 character, who normally has Chukun Chumpawat here, by the way, not some crappy-ass little short bow, but Chukun Chumpawat's on a different tune at the moment. I did a Tempest discussion on, like, theming and gameplay mechanisms a long time ago, and the core thrust of the Tempest... This was before even Weaver existed, but the core thrust of it was, listen, you've made the Tempest a support spec, and I disagree with that fundamental idea. Let's rework it to make Tempest DPS oriented. And that's not after some unending, ridiculous, like, petty, small-minded pursuit for damage. That is because I really do believe Tempest is themed best with pressure. And I just reworked a ton of ways in which Tempest was... It was produced as well, can I just add, in a day where, despite being support, it was also the best DPS. Now that's been properly retuned because Weaver exists, but it had there was a really muddy world of interim balance during the Heart of Thorns days that was gross. And yeah, I wanted to fix that. So, but it takes a high-level stance on Tempest, which the devs clearly don't agree with. So it's kind of a pointless video, really. I think, looking back. Like I said, I lose confidence in it, but apparently it was good.
Need something?
I put a lot of thought into it, but it only went up on Wooden Potatoes 2, not Wooden Potatoes 1. So I can always tell when I don't have too much confidence is when it goes on Wooden Potatoes 2. To an extent, I mean, it's just much more niche stuff that I have there. Anyway, a new NPC appeared with the expansion. Listen to this. I have always dreamed of exploring my ancestral homeland of Vabi someday, and now I may get that chance. Interesting, tell me more. Northwest of the Garden of Saborin, one of our scouts discovered Windswept Haven, an abandoned estate perfect for our initiative. Unfortunately, the Modern Crescent showed up to seize the site. Why are the Modern Crescent occupying this site? From our scout Lectier's report, it sounds like there's a powerful magical source at the site that these ghouls are trying to tap into. What's in it for my guild? Tyrian governments have authorized the initiative to offer you full claim to the Windswept Haven, so long as your guild occupies and maintains it. Do I have 100G? Oh, I do. I got 172. There you are. This guild hall change can be on me then, guys. Why do I have 100 gold right now? I'm not PvPing much. Oh, I know why. Because I sold a ton of stuff to clear my banks out recently. Like a lot of weird things I've been selling lately. And I just get random sales coming in.
If you're looking for a challenge, look no further.
Like this Sigil of Benevolence and stuff. And quartz, I guess. Anyway, not a problem. Let's liberate the Windswept Haven. Oh, wait, no. Can you show me what this looks like? Here we go.
Deep in the Elonian desert, there's an ancient place long abandoned. This hidden oasis has been magically spared from the chaos and warfare raging all around it. The lost history of this forsaken hideaway is just waiting to be unearthed. Windswept Haven is a place out of myth and memory. There are tales told of treasures hidden beneath its sands. Help me claim Windswept Haven so we can uncover its buried secrets together. Come with me and secure a new home for your guild in Ilona.
Alright, almost forgot to unmute there. Did I tell people in Discord that their guild is going bye-bye? I did. I said don't miss this stream if you're in the guild because we're changing it. You are really glad I fixed the stream. You didn't care much, but it looks so great. All I've done... What, are you talking from a frame rate perspective there or a 1080p perspective there? What are we at right now? We're only at 30 FPS, and I'm only giving you 30 FPS right now. That's the point. But you're getting a full 1080p experience instead of a 900p, which is what I was doing before. Is it that much better? I mean, I'm happy to leave it like that if it's getting positive response from people. If it makes the VODs on WP2 look better as well, then I'll be very happy with that. With Guild Wars 1, because that's so easy on my system, I might try a 1080-60. You think 1080 is much better? Alright, maybe we'll stick it like this then. Alright. And hey, Casey, it's good to see you, dude. I keep meaning to see you while you're live, but I keep forgetting. Farmy says, could you maybe meet a lieutenant so I can make groups? Yeah, definitely, dudes. Let me just actually find you. I'll put Tulip as a lieutenant. I'll put Farinir as a lieutenant. And I'll put Fami as a lieutenant. Good job moving yourself to subgroups there so I could see you. There you go. You guys can go nuts. In fact, I'll make you leader. Actually, I'll stay leader for now just in case it messes up the triggering of it or whatever. Just if you can let me trigger it so everyone on the stream can see what's going on. All right, let's liberate the Windswept Haven. Are you sure? Claiming the site will mean more than just driving out the Modern Crescent. We'll need a full expedition with support staff. It could get expensive. What will it cost to mount the expedition? It will cost 100 golds, 150 favor, and travel to the Windswept Haven entrance tunnel located northwest of the Garden of Saborin in Vabi. Meet Hashim and drive the Modern Crescent out to claim this guild hall. What I could also do is reset my client if you guys want to see ARC and we can see DPS. Do people care about that on this stream? Approve upgrade.
So, your guild wants to claim Windswept Haven? Good. Our journey begins in the domain of Vabi, in the kingdom of Ilona, northwest of the Garden of Saborin. A hidden trail leads up into the Mihan Hills. Ornate ruins mark the way in. Be careful. Those hills are full of hostile wildlife, and you may have to dodge awakened patrols. I'll meet you there.
The Mihan Hills. Oh my god, that sounded so American. All right. Beauty. I guess we'll just literally meet him there, like you said. You look at chat more than the stream. Yeah, that's the point. Listen, the point is, guys, the 1080p thing normally, the theory is 60 FPS is better because mobile users are more likely to be at the lower resolution because they... Well, no, it's not a question about it. But ignoring the mobile users thing, most people don't have it full screen because they like chat. So you're not looking at it anyway. But if it does look more crisp regardless, let's just stick it this way then. It's fine by me. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, everyone's welcome, by the way. You just need to be able to play on EU. You don't actually need to be in our guild. Anyone can come along and help. That's ArenaNet's play together philosophies right there. A benefit to you. So you can come along. It's not a problem. Yeah, I guess it depends on the type of game as well. That's true. More competitive. Like, if you're watching a CSGO stream, probably 60 is better. In another 5 to 10 years, certainly. Broadly speaking, as long as we in the first world don't fuck all of our economies and things over, infrastructure should improve to the point that everyone can get reasonably a 1080-60 delivery system, but also consumers will be able to watch that, even in OCX territories and stuff. So we'll continue trending upwards, I hope, but for now, we kind of have to choose. Look at the doggo, guys. Look at the doggo. Oh, you can't see me being a dickhead because my commander tag's in the way. Anyway. Okay, so do we just walk in? I think we do, don't we? Should I wait a second? You've not seen that skin? That's amazing. Yeah, this was one of the joke skins. One of the original ones. This is one of the original ones. I think that the guy has died to look a little bit more like it as well. But yeah, they did like a silly jerky one each time. Please don't start yet, says Family. Okay, dude, no worry. I'm basically just sitting here looking at chat. Oh, Dead Zealot, listen. I'm such a stupid, dumb little nerd. I love it when people put those Guild Wars 1 emotes up. I love it. We are trying to get the groups ordered for the race taking. Okay. Yeah, because we have to split up, right, in this. It's a bit like Boss Blitz. We're doing our own ghetto Boss Blitz here with no better reward. That dog, no way it was in the first batch? I'm sure it was. Oh, is it? Oh, maybe I'm wrong then. Okay. I mean, I can't claim to be an expert. Does the full list appear? It does. Maybe I was thinking about a different one. Did they add new Beetle skins yet, by the way? Look at that. Exosuit Griffin. Oh. I'll tell you what. There's a certain breed of boring, stick-in-the-mud, grey, old men that used to play Guild Wars 1 that are rolling in their graves right now.
Ah, what happened? Guild Wars.
You know, those of us that liked the Prophecies set and our 15k armor to look ultra realistic and very simple and, you know, immersive, and we're dying here. I actually have a little bit of a rant about that on the next episode of the LP. Be sure to tune in because I get the Ascalon weapons from the dungeon, and nighttime turns right as I'm talking about it, and I discuss this a little bit. Aren't I rolling in my grave already? Literally, that's all I do. I roll around, man, for multiple reasons.
Ever since the diabetes took my foot.
This is a total aside. My best friend has always hated the story and writing Guild Wars 2 and refused to learn about the setting. Long Live the Lich was so good that he got completely invested. Really? Wow. From a world building standpoint, that does shock me. Rants are coming to the LP now. No. Okay, also, listen. For any of you awesome people out there that watch these streams and the LP, which should be up by the end of tonight, there will be a split second in the LP on the next episode. It's going to be episode 61. There is a split moment where I point out a typo. I want you in the comments to show me where that is. All right? Anyone who does that, I'll be very, very happy with. But you have to be really on the ball because I'm desperate not to point out the typos out loud or go into any massive rants, right? I don't want to point out every single time the devs fuck up. But there's a typo in episode 61 from the devs that I point out with a cheeky little thing. But you have to be really on the ball to catch it. Does your Guild Wars 1 dungeon playlist have commentary of each encounter, or is it just general gameplay? My dungeon series does have every moment of every dungeon, but a lot of the commentaries about Guild Wars 2 stuff and the blog posts which led into Guild Wars 2. So it's like 50% actual discussion about what's going on in the dungeon. And you do get all the lore, but the thing is, there wasn't really much going on with the Eye of the North dungeons. It was mostly just pull, trash, mob, kill. Pull, trash, mob, kill. So I fill most of the time talking about Guild Wars 2 and upcoming lore and stuff. But everything is covered. My Guild Wars 1 dungeon series is that. I don't have a good Guild Wars 2 dungeon series yet. I have a playthrough of Ascalon Catacombs with Magical Mike, and that's it. Who knows, once Corteria is done, I might go do a mini-series on that here in 2018. It depends. All right, GMs, let me know when we're ready. I'm trying to keep an eye in as many places as possible, and we'll see what they say. The typo salt continues. I really should have done a counter. I mean, it's not excusable. I don't think it is. I don't know. 300 employees. None of them care about, like, making their game look... Like, not even AAA. Just, like, not a C-grade game. Like, honestly, what are your... A game that... I know that MMOs are vast and expansive and stuff. What really upsets me about it... This is not a rant. Just what really upsets me about it is the only reason they can get away with having so many typos is that the core game is so bad people don't even pay attention to NPCs anymore. Like, the only reason they get away with it is because it's bad. Like, that's... If I was working there, I couldn't be proud of that. I couldn't stand by that. That would just... I don't know. It's just, there's something that grosses me out of that. Anyway. Alright, let's go in. Alright, good. No rants. Here we go. I'm invested entirely too much in this typo. It's not just typos, it's copy-pasting dialogue from other NPCs and then not tweaking the NPC that's in reference, even though it's from a different area of lore. So that's we've never done this at night. This looks pretty cool. Oh, there should be dialogue, right? Hold on. Here we go. Ready? I'm glad you made it. Have someone highly ranked in your guild speak with me when you're ready to start. This is badass, guys. 36 of you. Oh, this is cool. Spud, this is badass. Sorry to all the envious NA people, but you're already here. Ready? We're ready to start.
Welcome to Windswept Haven, Commander. Even for your guild, this is likely to be a tough fight. Here's the situation. A contingent of Palawa Joko's elite Morden Crescent force is occupying this place. Their awakened defilers are drawing power from the site, destabilizing its magic. I think the defilers are managing to handle all that power by sharing it with their Canid attendants. It looks like the Canids are using some of the magic to shield their defiler masters from harm. If we eliminate the Canids, we'll be able to hurt the defilers while the magic is fluctuating. We can't let them ruin this place before we can even explore it. We don't have much time before the Haven becomes uninhabitable. We have to hurry. I'm sure your guild can handle this. Let's go.
Yeah, sorry, there was too much stream delay. I know that the GM said don't start yet, but there was too much stream delay. I do apologize. It's not that hard, is it? It's not a ridiculous gate. We can do it. We should get going though now, shouldn't we? I believe we should. I kind of want to film this. Look how cool this is. Go first person and watch all the griffins go flying off. I'm not going to preempt the squad though. I'm not going to move until the GMs move because I don't want to accidentally bait everyone into flying around. Especially now that everyone's got all the rainbow and pretty skins and stuff, you know? Could look pretty good. Yeah, so the idea being that typos are okay just because there's so much stuff. I mean, I get it. Like, because the more stuff you add, the slimmer slice of people will see it. But it just... To those of us who are cataloguing it all and really trying to learn about Tyria and understand it, it feels like a slap in the face to anyone who looks too deeply. What you want to do is reward your fans who get enthusiastic and look deeply. You want to make it feel like their time is worth something, not that oh, you're such a slim demographic that fuck you, will just give you typos and stuff. Like, you don't want to give that. And again, it's just that AAA thing. Like, I get that other games have typos, but I don't know. Think of any really expansive, vast RPG that you truly enjoy. How much do they get away with it? What do you recommend I watch? Your playthrough of Factions and other Canthan stuff? Or your old LP on YouTube? I've never played Guild Wars. The LP will be way better than the streams. The LP has proper research, and every piece of trivia and every relevant piece of anything you could ever want will be on the LP. It will be a bit lower video quality and stuff, and it won't be contemporary, and it will have a lot of baseless speculations that never came true in the end. But it's got everything that's relevant. Are we good to go? We are just standing around with 3 minutes. I mean, the time is ticking. Shouldn't we go? I don't have chat up. Let me see what they're saying in chat. Stay with your group. Do not move to the other groups yet. If they think that it's fine to piss away 2.5 minutes. These aren't that complicated. Are you guys not making a mountain out of a molehill? I mean, literally every time we've ever done these, we've just zerged it and it's done. It seems like a bit too much micromanagement to me, but I'll trust that they know what they're doing. We're restarting it, they said. Oh, okay. So what, we're letting it fail and then coming back in? Okay. I'm pretty sure the last time you did POF, we struggled. Did we really? Oh, that might be fair. Maybe we did. I mean, surely that could be because a lot of fair weather players and new elite specs and stuff. It doesn't kick you out. It just respawns 3 Devilers and new locations. Okay. There you go. Look, Kip is no longer banned. It's good to see you still typing Kip. Have I read the doc on this? We're making an event out of this with prizes. No, I haven't. I didn't know that. Really? Oh. Oh, I feel terrible. I did not realize that. I'm looking in about stuff happening now. Oh, wow. EU Spud goes to a loner. Since the release of Path of Fire, EU Spud has been asking to move to the hall. We're proud to announce that it's finally happening with a twist. Capturing a guild hall is usually pretty standard. You group up, kill a bunch of champions, cut over a couple of waves, and then kill a boss at the end. This time, however, Spud decided to make it a little more interesting by holding a speed run competition in different squads with prizes for the winning squad and a whole lot of fun for everyone. What? Oh, guys, this is awesome. How the event works, we'll have 3 squads to compete. People will join a squad of their choosing until we have even numbers. The first event will be several waves of awakened defilers. The goal is to kill the defilers. The more your group kills, the more points you score. There are 6 spawn points for them. Following this, another event, killing the Mordant Crescent Hierarchs. The same rules apply. This time there are 3 spawn points, so it's likely you only get 1 kill. How the scoring works. When the group which kills the first Defiler event in every wave gets 2 points. All the other Defiler events in the same waves count for 1. Mordant Crescent, the first Hierarch kill gives you 2. All of them after count for 1. After the event is over, the group with the most points wins. So what's up for grabs? The winning group gets an amount of golden ectos to be spread evenly among the group. I had no idea you were doing that, guys. Right, so basically, to put that into layman's terms for everyone on the stream, we've got 2 subgroups, and they're actually racing. Oh no, we've got multiple subgroups, and they're racing to clear their events. So this is going to be done in 15 seconds. And if you're first, you get points for your subgroup. And they get tallied up as the Guildhall capture goes along. The subgroup to win overall wins prizes. This is awesome. Why are you being such a troll in chat, dog? Yeah, I didn't know that they were making it a big event. Oh, it's Blue Jasmine. Hi, one thing I know about fighting for guild halls, the more people you have, the more the fight scales. The competition sounds fun. Yeah, I mean, that's Guild Wars, though. Yeah, and we have a Discord for it. You guys can go to Discord, absolutely. It's broken. The more people you go, the more undoable it becomes. It's not broken. It's just that it scales linearly. And the more people you have, the higher chance some of them are bad and are not going to pull their weight. And that's just Guild Wars. Yeah, he's been mean today. He's been really trolly. And he's doing that thing where basically you just put a lull at the end and that makes it okay. You're in a mean way, Turtle. You can't call people Turtle, though, because we have lots of turtles. That's the thing. We've got lots of them. Yeah, my guild did Lost Precipice with 5 people. Yeah, I mean, especially the Heart of Thorns ones, that was true as well. I think there were videos of people soloing these, which I think was quite interesting. Okay, well, it's going again. Are we still not ready? No, I don't keep tabs on every little thing that the GMs do. That's quite clear. Hey, WP, you're a jerk. Lol. So now it's okay. Well, it's bad. No, I don't think that... Okay, well, let's have that discussion. Chat, what do you think? Philosophically, what should the devs do? Should they scale it with diminishing returns so that you can just zerg shit to account for the fact that people will be bad, and thus always adding more numbers not only makes things easier because there's more people, but also literally it becomes easier? Is that how the devs should do it? Or should they scale it linearly, which is Guild Wars as it stands, which essentially means that the larger zerg, the more you're punished, but only if the zerg getting bigger is filling with poor play, which is philosophically the right way to handle a game. I think the devs are doing it correctly. It leads to this weird situation where you kind of don't want more people, and that feels counterintuitive to the idea of everyone should be happy to see everyone all the time. But I for one, am happy that they don't handhold to that degree. I don't believe it's a catch-22. I think that it can just be solved by getting the player base generally more skilled by looking at the systems which tutorialize and teach people about the game. That's where Guild Wars is deficient, not in how it scales. Very unbiased description. Well, what? Okay, what? How can I don't know. What's unfair about my description there? They are the facts, aren't they? Hey, WP, how are you today? I'm very good, thank you. I hope you're good too. It's no fun as a guild leader or officer having to tell your guildmates, sorry, we need to 8-man this because you're not good enough to scale up. Well, you don't have to. You've just presented a false dichotomy there. That's not correct at all. You're not in either or situation, are you? There are any number of middle grounds you could also enact, such as getting your really good players to carry harder by looking at composition closer, or by teaching your poor players how to play better. You're not forced to get rid of your better players. You can engage with them and teach them and show them how the systems work. And if you yourself don't know how they work, then that's your opportunity to learn, which thus increases engagement in the game. And just like any product, this is a much more interesting game the more you understand it. So, you know, you're not in that situation where you have to... I've never experienced any content in the game where I've been forced to cull people away. Ever. It's just the less people are, the more controlled you can be. Like when I used to low-man triple trouble worm, it's amazing to see how good and how easy that stuff can be if everyone uses their skills and builds correctly and you have correct comps. It's amazing. And that can be replicated at a large scale. It's just, it's almost impossible to trust 25 humans to not be morons. One of them is going to be messing up. One of them won't know how to cast Time Warp and keep quickness on everyone. One of them won't know how to set up their phalanx strength build. One of them will be missing auto attacks. Like, I remember a friend of mine who was in stream chat a minute ago. I remember when we were streaming, when the first raid came out and we watched like each other's streams, and you'd see like he was streaming and missing basic auto attacks on his rev, you know. Like the more people you add to stuff, you just see like intelligent, normal people, they just miss basic stuff sometimes, you know. It happens, and the more people you add, the more complicated things get. All right, let's go. So I'm not in a subgroup, I can't qualify for awards, but that's fine. We are losing some frames here, by the way, but even I'm seeing that on my client. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a big Zerg thing that was always very low. Yeah, this is EU. I think you can dip in halfway, I think. And yeah, I do apologize to the GMs for not realizing we were making a bigger event out of this. Oh, here we go. So Zeth wants to talk about Warframe. Well, hold on. Let me get in there and do some stuff. It's cool that they're making this an event, by the way, because they've given all the players an incentive to be better, which is kind of cool. I'm like a chaotic neutral force here. I'll just zerg around and help some groups and not others. Should be pretty good, right?
Contract complete.
Yeah, so we were talking on a previous stream about how one of the Warframe, like, game directors or something pointed out that... Hey, let me move in. Let's get more boons. One of the Warframe guys pointed out... Oh, he's blocking projectiles, so we're not getting Malice. So we're not getting initiative and not doing damage. Basically said that no matter how many times you rework your early stuff, it won't lead to increased retention. And that came from a Warframe guy, and we talked about that a bit. So Zeth left me a Discord message saying, well, hold on, it's worth noting that Warframe has one of the worst new player experiences ever and always has. So maybe you can take his opinion with a grain of salt. Zeth here in chat now said, and I said, that's cool, do you want to add anything? So Zeth here has just joined our chat a second ago, and he says, Zeth, more on Warframe and its awful tutorials. There's a mission mechanic that has voice-acted dialogue that legitimately misleads players. There are basically clouds that head to a central boss, and the clouds are the only way to kill it. Instead of attack those clouds, you are told, attack the boss. It is roughly like... Why are we not getting Malice? We don't have a mark. It's roughly like if Lorantha at the mouth of Morgemoth shouts, avoid the down chopper, it's about to explode. Wow. How did the game get in that position that it tells you the opposite of what you should be doing? How is that possible? That seems very strange, doesn't it? Warframe is amazing, says Rav. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's bagging on the game itself. I think the discussion... Oh, look, we're getting glancing blows there, which is strange, since he's not scaled up to level 80. Oh, no, we're glancing this archer who's scaled up to level 83. Ha! So he was obstructing us, which is... I mean, what are the odds of that? That's really annoying. I mean, that glancing stuff is a very real example, by the way, of why scaling is non-linear. And we talked about that on a recent stream. So it is true that the game gets a bit harder, and it is genuinely broken. It's not just philosophy at work. It is the devs have got a weird artifice of their combat.
That's how I do it.
Dude, let me... look, this guy's really salty. Do you think that this is the first time I've done this Essential Dignity? Do you think this is it, if I've never experienced this before? Or large guild content before? But here, guys, listen in chat. We're about to be schooled. Here we go. Dude, let me explain you what happens when a guild get together to do this. You end up wiping 1 hour and then having to left 80% of guild members out of the experience for manage to get it. Yes, we know it's the scale. Yes, we know it's because not all the members inside are good players with good builds. But that only makes people feel worse, ruining what could have been an amazing guild night. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong in being frustrated by that. That's obviously a frustrating experience. But I'm saying on the face of it, I have no problems with the way that ArenaNet scales large-scale meta events. It's unfortunate that your guild is finding it hard. And it's unfortunate that you've been denied a reward when Guild Wars 2 has taught you nothing but get. It must be frustrating to play hundreds of hours of an MMO where they just shower you with stuff and you never have to try, to then fail at something. The idea of failing is not something people are accustomed to in Guild Wars. And I get your frustrations, but I'm just saying I don't have sympathy for this idea that it's all on ArenaNet's end. I think that a lot of it is in your hands, in your guild's hands, to get better. And if your guild is full of people who refuse to, like, just think a bit deeper about the game or learn a thing or two about the game and fix their builds, and they'll just, as you put it, feel worse and won't go further, you know, I don't have unending sympathy for that mindset. I just don't, you know? It's very likely, if it's true that last time I did this, a year ago, we struggled too, you'll find some of that frustration coming out of me. So, you know, I get it. No, and it's not fair for people in chat to say, oh, your guild's just bad, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's an element of that, but, you know, you shouldn't just be rude about people like that. You should, what I'm trying to say is people shouldn't be rude about a guild being bad at the game. Everyone was bad at some point. The only thing you should feel vaguely justified in is being rude about people refuse. I don't know. It's very hard. It's a weird thing because Can you be mad at a Guild Wars 2 player when they feel frustrated not getting a reward handed to them on a plate? Can you really? After everything this MMO does is acclimatize and treat people as though they're always deserving of rewards? I don't know. Maybe it is on ArenaNet's end. You reap what you sow, right? And if you just throw a brick wall at your audience after they've never even been given a... What's a small brick wall? Any small obstacle. You can see why I'm not a writer. I've not mastered the world of metaphor. You get what I mean, right? Like, I don't know. I get it. I get people being frustrated with that. It's not all that they're like,
they're all just intellectual dimwits. Let's laugh at them, Twitch chat.
I think that's unfair. Let's not be that. So it's a complicated situation that Guild Wars is in. That's why it's easier just to whine about Corteria than actually address these things. You like the stealth shade being thrown? From me or from stream chatters? It's not a brick wall, it's just a brick, surely. Alright, there you go, there, boom, just a brick. It's nice to see Nike here as well, because he's absolutely the kind of person who circles these discussions often. I mean, I'm a big believer, I really am a very big believer that obstacles in games make people appreciate the product more. That you give people these so-called negative experiences, and what they learn from it and how they grow from it forges a bond with the game that's more meaningful than anything else. I really do think that. And that's why it frustrates me so much, the philosophies and styling of so much of what Guild Wars does for its like core experience. So I don't know. Like, all I'm gonna say is I don't have that much sympathy for people who choose to blame the devs for making something remotely challenging with the guild thing. Is that person still in chat, by the way? I haven't. They are. Essential Dignity. Because you play on large guilds with international people, I do that too. I'm not casual, but I kind of want to experience at least one little part of the guild content that Guild Wars Capture is with my casual 40-man guild from my own country. So let's actually try and make a conversation out of this. Essential Dignity. What do you want to happen exactly? Do you want this just to be a face roll? And please feel free to openly admit that. I mean, you're not going to get laughed out of here. If you say you want this to be a face roll, believe me, I know you're not alone. You just let everyone win all the time and get the biggest player base possible and sell the mount skins. I mean, yeah, to one sense, but I feel like retention and stuff would be so much higher if... The problem isn't obstacles. The problem is people aren't given obstacles until too late. That's the problem. If you got defeated and game over and had economic drains on you and stuff, right there in the tutorial instance, people would be more forgiving of it in mid-game, they'd be more forgiving of it at the end game, and they'd realize that that's something fun in gaming. I really believe that. And I think when you came out of the other end, you'd have more people playing Guild Wars 2 for longer and understanding Guild Wars 2 for deeper. What you can't do is give people hundreds of hours of free rewards and face roll stuff and then say, okay, go do a raid where you actually have to pay attention, because people won't transition. That won't be what they think the game's about. That won't be their expectation. You have to teach people that hard things can happen quick. That's where not just MMOs, not just Guild Wars 2, all games are falling down at the moment, I think. I really believe casual players can handle failure. They can. You just have to teach them about it quick. But there's this big thing where it's like the second someone gets game over and forgets to save their game or whatever, they uninstall and they don't go back to the product. The first obstacle people hit, it tends to be this big moment of losing a lot of the player base. But it's not a matter of eliminating the obstacle. It's about repackaging that, to me. I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I don't know how these things go. But I really feel like that's a big part of all of this. Again, I get why someone would be annoyed by this acquiring a guild instance when they've got 40 people who are basically just, they're doing the Living World story and that's it, you know? Fractals needed to be harder. Well, I have a lot of sympathy for Fractals. I think the Fractal team's really smart, and I think that the way Fractals are set up right now is perfect. Because Fractals are piss easy. The problem is the community doesn't talk about how easy Fractals are. T1 Fractals, T2 Fractals, honestly, are so easy. It's such a hand-holdy, comfortable, nice little thing to slowly grow through Fractals. I think the reason why... but I think a lot of people aren't prepared to even sit in and try T1 and T2 because they think it's hard already. And they're scared away from it. They put it in this bucket of, like, nerd territory and no-life territory. And, oh, you have to be good at the game for that. Oh, that's effort. That's like an obstacle. I'm not going to do that. When they don't realize it's so, like, comfortable and forgiving and grandma mode. And it's really nice, early Fractals. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the whole Fractal side of things again because... I feel like we talked about that quite recently, but the whole, you know, if T1 was like duo content, so there were less animations and you understood the mechanics better and those early tiers actually taught you things instead of just getting blown up and then it's not worth anything as an experience except giving people confidence to try, and, you know, that there's a lot more going on. You guys will never understand because the concept of a small guild seems weird for you. Who are you talking to? Who are you generalizing there? Yeah, grandma mode. Yeah, I stand by that. T1 Fractals are grandma mode, definitely. Literally, I could get my nan to play it. I really do think I could get my nan, who, as far as I know, has never played a video game in her life. I reckon I could get her to beat a T1 Fractal. No problem. It's grandma mode. That's what I mean. The top end of Fractals should be harder as well, I think. I don't play too many Fractals at the moment, but I believe that current T4 is how T3 should feel. They should ramp quicker and have a higher top end. So people in chat here, by the way, we're getting 2 more groups. We're resetting. We need to hit more blobs at the same time. Furniture Squad was wrecking it. We're going to split into even more groups, so they're going for it. Again, there might be a Discord voice channel going on right now, guys. If you want to be a part of all this, you're more than welcome. Just join us in Discord. You can click that link. You don't need an account. You don't need any software. Yeah, we've got tons of people in a Discord squad right now. So, yeah, you can join them like that. You'd like to see me try? Try what? What, getting my nan to play? Hey, listen, one of the things I wanted to see from the Get Path of Fire challenge was people getting their mums to play, and indeed, some people did. I think there were 2 different videos of people getting their mums to play, and one of them was my favorite of the entire thing. It didn't win because it wasn't as good at growing the scene as others were, but it was awesome. Regarding difficulty, I think Queen's Gauntlet's unappreciated with just how intelligently designed it was. You have veterans bashing that was too easy, but they're missing the point. The Gauntlet, the upstairs stuff. Yeah, I think that's... I don't know. Listen, there is no such thing as a level 80 only piece of content that will be good at getting people good at the game. If they're not starting to hit obstacles in the first 2 hours, it's done. You've missed your boat, mate. You gotta teach people quick that punishment's okay and something to be enjoyed, and just the entire like philosophy that Guild Wars 2 revolves around, that idea of, oh, this failed, so let's change a skill. Oh, this failed, so let's look into some new gear. Or, oh, this failed, so let's try and use our skills in a different order, or practice WASD. All of that stuff, that needs to be that quick. And I'll say another thing. It's really weird seeing Nike in this chat, actually, because Nike did a video on Guild Wars 1 versus Guild Wars 2 that was vaguely around these topics last week. And there was a Guild Wars 1 subreddit thread about it, which I did talk in. Someone said where they felt MMOs were going wrong recently. And I kind of added to it. I said, yeah, you know, I essentially said what we're talking about on this stream. I said that one of the big things with MMOs... And you guys wonder why guilds don't feel that good. You wonder why your friends list feels empty. You wonder why you feel like you don't get a connection to Guild Wars 2 that you do when you're playing RuneScape or whatever. A lot of it's like that social element. And this whole thing about hitting walls, if you give people walls in MMOs early, they'll party up to bypass them, and they'll make actual friendships. And one of the things Guild Wars 1 did really well was like gate monkeys. A quest right at the start that you can only get the resurrection signet if you learn how to talk to people and you bring them into parties, and stuff like that is really important. I think you give people walls in MMOs, they'll group up to tackle those challenges, and they will make friends out of the other side, and you'll have memories together of doing worthwhile things. But you don't get that in Guild Wars 2 because you never need to speak to another person. Like, they just... I described it in that Reddit thread as another example of where this genre has sacrificed its best qualities in favor of accessibility and quality of life. And I really believe in that. By the way, we just crashed, by the way. Which happened last time we were doing this, I think. Literally, we've crashed out of Guild Wars. 100%. RIP! The Guild Wars 2 game client is not responding. It's over. Oh, family wanted me to start it. Sorry, dude. Is Frostmoors in an unreachable area of Guild Wars 2? I think, yeah, it's probably more north than Frostgorge Sound. I don't know how it maps up to Bitterfrost. I think it might be. You sound like you're ready to move over to WoW instead of Guild Wars 2. Not necessarily. I'm not really looking for a... there are various aspects of my gaming desires that are by Guild Wars, but it's not that I'm necessarily looking to bandwagon leap to another MMO. I actually think a lot of what I love comes from RPGs, just in general, and particularly a lot of more old school RPGs. More on that later, TM. So will I just join here? This should work, right? But WoW Classic I'm interested in. WoW is so shite, I don't think I'll be able to play it these days. I mean, it sounds to me like World of Warcraft has gone through exactly the same stuff that ArenaNet's done to this franchise. I mean, exactly. I mean, I don't play it much, but obviously you can't cover one MMO without knowing what's going on with others. And it 100% sounds like they have all kinds of issues with the meaning behind social interaction and all kinds of stuff. And devaluing difficult content and any number of things. And skipping past people through most of their world. You know, you can copy-paste a lot of my rants over to that. Okay, so family wants me to start it now. All right, let's do it then. I'll start it. I'll go up to the top. Here we go. Now that I'm back in. WoW Classic was awful. This is interesting. I originally attempted WoW when it was in its heyday, and I just did every single thing. It did every single thing I despise about MMOs. That's interesting, man. Most of what I hear about it lately is excitement, but I wonder, you know, there's something going on here that I have to be very blunt about, and that is, I'm a loser, and a no-lifer, and I play way too much video games.
Welcome to Windswept Haven, Commander.
So,
even for your guild, this is likely to be a tough fight. Here's the situation.
It may be that the really kind of primitive, aggressive, like, throttling, cynical stuff that WoW Classic did, it might be that I jerk off over that because I'm a loser and all I do is play this hours and hours and hours on end. So it like hits me perfectly because all they want is everyone to be like me, and they're happy for people to sacrifice their social lives and stuff to just play a game. So it might be that I really enjoy what is genuinely very cynical, poor game design. And you have to be careful about that with me and anyone like me that you watch streaming too much MMOs and stuff, you know. So that's a part that really is in there. There's another side as well for me, which is the DNA of Guild Wars 1 and the DNA of Guild Wars 2, both in their own respects. Are we pushing now, yeah? I just want to make sure we actually are. Should we two-man this with this guy? I don't know. The DNA of these games is they're counter games. They're counter jerks. That's what they are. That's what ArenaNet is. They're basically saying, look at all this stuff that they do, that Blizzard did. And every MMO before it did that was just gross. We want to make an MMO for the normal man. We want to make an MMO that is the counter jerk to all of this like ridiculous practice. And that's fine. And that has led ArenaNet to a great amount of success. But here's a funny little thing about me as a human. the MMO franchises I have most deeply played have been ArenaNet ones. So while most people come to ArenaNet and say, oh, look at the no gear treadmill, look at how easy it is to group, look at how nice they are with their gem store and blah, blah, blah. While most people love all of that stuff because it's a breath of fresh air, to me, it's all I've known. So the breath of fresh air is in the reverse direction. To me, the breath of fresh air is going and experiencing all that disgusting stuff Blizzard does. And the ridiculous Asian cash grab grind that MapleStory had. And Perfect World had. And to an extent, RuneScape had. So, you know, I find myself loving those products because they're my Guild Wars. Does that make sense? And so, again, that's another place where I'm very different to the everyman, and my opinions about what's fun and good design might just be horrible, might be horrendous. You might, you know, in a lot of ways, I might be the last person in the world you should ever listen to as a tastemaker for MMOs, because what my route through all of this has been is very specific, and you're unlikely to share with me. Do you get what I mean? So, why are you watching the stream? Basically, is the question. You should go, you know. You should watch a variety streamer like Dot Game. I'm sure he'll be a much better tastemaker than I ever would be. And I only say that with half cynicism there. So yeah, you know, there's a lot of different things going on. Funky Chickens 007 says, I feel you, bro. I do feel you. I feel you, chunky flying chickens, funky chickens. Where the Char took down Ascalon in Guild Wars 1 Flame Legion? Yes, but more than that too. I believe it was all the High Legions were in on it, but mostly led and curtailed and corralled by Flame Legion. That's kind of a retroactive bollocky thing ArenaNet did, in my opinion, to kind of make the rest of the Char good guys, even in retrospect. Oh, they were just following Flame Legion. They weren't so bad. Which I've always loathed a bit, but... Wait, there are others who played Perfect World International? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. The best thing about Perfect World International was I could find grills on the internet and I could flirt with them and I could build up to the point where I want to carry them around while flying around, and I could be a big shot. And if we both pressed the same like keybind together, our avatars could kiss. Amazing. And, you know, eventually she would fall in love with me and I'd start a new life with her. That was what Perfect World International was all about.
Setting up.
What is this? It's true, Germans followed Hitler. That doesn't mean Germans are bad. Why are we talking about Hitler? Why is there any discussion on the internet that ends up becoming about Hitler? Sorry, I'm playing this so poorly as well, by the way. It's because I'm literally, I have one hand on the keyboard. I'm sitting in the most relaxed, laid back, lazy position you can imagine. And just reading chat, basically, while auto-attacking with my Razor Naga. Like, this is unbelievable.
Taking a shot.
You wouldn't think this is a man at work. Life is good. Because Flame Legion are literally cat Hitlers. Oh, okay. Char are post-war Germans. You mean economic powerhouses? You know, on the other hand, WP, my opinions of WoW Classic was flavored by a bad experience with a friend. I mean, listen, here's what really... Here's where the real truth of my gut is when it comes to MMOs and stuff. I remember being like a 13-year-old kid picking up Guild Wars 1, right? And playing it for the first time. And I remember that I didn't like that none of the gear was flashy. I remember that I was upset there were only 20 levels. I remember being upset that everyone unlocked skills in PvP eventually, and I wanted it to be I could win better if I grinded more in PvP. I remember that. I remember being a little bit annoyed that you could just fast travel everywhere, and that I wanted it to be like really big and long and slow, and it all about... I remember being upset there wasn't a RuneScape style wilderness. I remember that. Like, so the human being, the little boy that was getting used to MMOs in those early days, who had only played like RuneScape before it, that kid didn't get what ArenaNet was going for. Because that kid hadn't been burned by MMOs, and that kid hadn't been too ingrained into World of Warcraft and stuff. That kid didn't get the counter jerk that Guild Wars 1 was. And eventually he came to love what Guild Wars 1 was going for. But the truth is that wasn't my default state. So, you know, I hear about a game like that as many years later, decade later. I hear about that and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'd be interested in seeing what WoW Classic. I'm interested in seeing what these MMOs were. There's something appealing about it, you know. There's something appealing about the way RuneScape has all of its skills and you have to grind like a bitch to get like super high, but you get the renown for it at the end, you know. There's something about it, you know. I guess the other side of the coin, right, is the point was Guild Wars always wanted prestige and renown, and it wanted the nerds, and it wanted the elitists, and it wanted the people that were at the top of the chain. The point was that to get to the top of the chain, it was about skill, not grind. That was what it was always about. It was about you're at the top in Guild Wars, not because you grinded for hours and hours on arbitrary stuff, fake difficulty, as we like to say. It was because you were really smart. It's because you're an intelligent person and because you practice. And it was because you treated the product like that. And that's all well and good, and I still believe in that. But to what extent Guild Wars 1 and 2 have truly hit that peak, I don't know. Only in the PvP sectors have they ever really got there. Like, I'm not a great raider. I raid minimal each week. And, you know, I've not been at the top of raiding scenes for ages. I don't care much about raiding anymore. But I don't really have much respect for being a really good raider, to be honest, in the game. Like, nothing in PvE has really managed to nail that. Only PvP. And PvP was dead on arrival because it didn't have the correct infrastructure and stuff. And no one takes it seriously anymore. So, I don't know. To me, it's like I've just lost enthusiasm in that. But I still kind of have enthusiasm for, do you know what? If you grinded thousands of hours to look like a big shot, then there you go. There's something in that. I don't know. I feel like I'm waffling a little bit. Do people get what I mean? Just a little bit? Just a little bit?
One shot, one kill.
I think that's one major thing I hated about WoW was just skill in the game was more in regards to grind and less in regards to intelligence. Raids were a place where most people really just couldn't play them because they required 50 people. Yeah, you know, that frustrates me as well. I really do like the Guild Wars 2 raids. I think that they're very good, and I think that they're really involved in amazing content. But it frustrates me when I see on RMMORPG people say,
Yeah, the Guild Wars raids aren't even that hard. When they release a Guild Wars raid, it gets beaten in like 12 hours. That's pathetic. In Final Fantasy XIV, it takes them like a week. They're so much harder.
and people just say that in a vacuum, and it really annoys me because it's like, is an FF14 or a WoW raid really that much harder because it takes people ages? Is it taking people longer because it's actually genuinely good, well thought out, intricate content? Or is it just being completed quicker because there's like these arbitrary gear gates and player threshold gates that are much harder to organize and get people through, you know? Guild Wars asks 10 people who are already going to be as well geared as they'll ever be to go for it. That's it. So people are in like a baseline position to tackle Guild Wars 2's raids excellently. In these other games, there's all these like treadmills and shit and just arbitrary bollocks that's tied up in it, and yet somehow they get more prestige as more interesting raiding scenes. Fuck off, are they? There's a lot of really complicated, interesting, exciting, well-made encounters in Guild Wars 2, and they get beaten quicker because players have access to them, and rightly so, according to Guild Wars 2's philosophies, which have been rightly adhered to over a decade. But no, Guild Wars 2 doesn't get any credit for that anymore because apparently it was a bait and switch adding raids in the first place, and it doesn't get any credit for having complicated raids because they get beaten too quick apparently either. So, you know, Guild Wars 2 just gets the shit end of both ends of the stick, and I think it's really unfair. And it just comes from people who don't want to look at the product deeply at all. Just shallow thinking about the way that MMOs work. It really annoys me. These products are way too big and complicated to just dismiss like that with these stupid little lines, one-liners. But you see it, you know, and it's annoying. Well, you guys have really set me off on one here. So Karuna set there says, no, FF14 did release a boss that had no better gear to obtain that took 2 weeks to beat. Okay, let me just couch this a little bit better. I'm not talking about only gear treadmill gates. There are lots of different gates. A game without fast travel that releases a raid over here has and it could be a 10-man raid, but just because of its travel system being different, it's now another complication getting all your players there. It may not be a big complication, but it is one additional one. MMOs are vast products. There will be that complication stacked on top of another little one, like gear repair might be a bigger thing in one MMO than another. That's another little thing people have to get right. Access to consumables and how quickly consumables time out might be another thing. There might be more guild-oriented buffs and things people have to prepare for. There's lots of little facets of an MMO. A gear treadmill may be one of them, but there's a lot of little facets that go into content accessibility. And Guild Wars 2, in nearly every single facet, has eliminated it. Because that's what Guild Wars 2's DNA is about. It's about making things as accessible as possible. So you may be right that FF14 doesn't have a gear treadmill and it still took them 2 weeks. There will still be a ton of other little facets of accessibility that have rolled into that. And that's what I'm trying to express to you. That Guild Wars is baked so deeply into its DNA about acquiring gear and stat swapping gear and the way that the economy on runes and sigils and things work, and the way that elite specializations are easily swappable. There's just no taxes on any of your time in this game, which I, for what it's worth, in many ways disagree with. Other MMOs have that stuff, and then it means eventually at the end of the line, oh, their raids took a bit longer to beat, but that doesn't actually speak to the quality of the content itself. You know, you watch a lot of the content, and it's not... It's just... that's what I'm trying to express, that you can't look in a vacuum and say Guild Wars 2's raids are worse than Final Fantasy 14's. FF14 ones are harder and are better for hardcore players just because they get beaten quicker by the top end. I think that's just grossly unfair, right? That's what I'm trying to say. And there's a lot of pieces that build into that. There's even stuff like, and as many raiders will tell you in Guild Wars 2, think about just like expectation of content coming in.
Back in fighting condition.
The size of the pool of raiding players is going to be bigger or smaller. The number of them that actually decide to become more hardcore players versus those that don't. Are we taking the Windswept Haven again? We are, yes, we are. We're moving our original guild over now. And I'm very idly not really helping. I wonder whether we are struggling or not, and I should help out a bit more. Which is stronger? You'll need for a beach paradise map or a sewer dungeon? Wait, a sewer raid or a beach paradise map? Dude, that's a really good question. I don't know. Oh, I fucked up. This reveal bug is really pissing me off. Look at this. Look, I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to stealth, and then we're going to auto with Death's Judgment. And it does nothing. It just reveals me. All I'm doing is pressing 1. We'll do it again. Stealth. Press 1 for Death's Judgment. And it just reveals me. Why does it do that? What have I got that's messing me up there? I'll try it again. Stealth. Death's Judgment. I press 1, and I just get revealed. And it does... Why does that keep happening? What is it about Deadeye I don't understand? I'm not inflicting any packets of damage in the interim. I have to, like, dodge roll and reset the prone to get it back. I'm not sure what it is. I talked about that on a previous stream. No one had an answer for me. But I lose so much of my pressure when that happens. It keeps happening. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I want them both really badly. I really don't know the answer to that. Maybe it would change on the day. Right now, I'd probably say a sewer raid just because I'm starved for more raid content. No, it's not my last auto. I'm not auto-attacking. Oh my god, go back.
There's no one way to navigate this place, so get creative.
I'm not triggering any animations as it's going on. It's not the projectile. Oh, it's the same person saying it. Okay. There is no projectile. I'm sitting there doing nothing, and then I press 1 skill, and then it insta reveals. WP, did you try to do the Queen's solo bosses with other stuff? A little bit, but not really much, no. The only time I've gone back is for daily now. Crystal's remaining energy is there. Waves defeated 0 out of 5. Are we failing? I think we might be struggling. I'm focusing way too much on chat. Push comes to shove. If this doesn't work on the stream, we'll just come back with lower numbers. Literally like the person was complaining about in chat. And we'll do it like that.
Taking the shot.
We failed 7 times, did we? I mean, I don't even remember struggling at all last time we did it. I remember we spent a while in here, and it was definitely tougher than the last one, but... Family says we are having a hard time. That's unfortunate.
Back in fighting condition.
Would you consider doing a Queen's Gauntlet stream before the end of the festival? I don't mind if you do or you don't, but I think it might be fun. What do you mean? What would you want to see from a Queen's Gauntlet stream? We already did one. Do you mean specifically you want the 1v1 stuff up top? That is the Queen's Gauntlet, right? It's the Crown Pavilion, host bot split, and the Queen's Gauntlet. I don't know whether I'm really that excited about that, to be honest. What's my opinion of CMs and fractals? I like them, but I also actually, to tell you the truth, I agree with the devs in that I know people want CMs, but more CMs, but I do think that they're best for like the last ones on the end. I don't think I don't agree with all fractals should have CMs. I understand people's desire to have a CM, and that's perfectly fair. But I think that should be satisfied by raids and raid CMs. And it's not Fractal's job to satisfy that. It's the raid team's job to satisfy that. I think there are clear designated areas of Guild Wars 2's endgame where different things have different functions. And I believe that it's cool that the last 3 Fractals you essentially do, Nightmare, Shattered Observatory, and Chaos. Oh no, Chaos doesn't have a CM. But I think that, you know, those last ones can have CMs, but I don't think that every single Fractal should have one. I'd rather they just be at liberty to push out ones like Deepstone at the kind of size and scope that Deepstone are at. And yes, it's disappointing Deepstone doesn't have a CM, but I think I'm more disappointed. Here, look. Stealth. Auto. I'm not autoing. Stealth. Press skill 1, and I get revealed. There I healed too quickly. I don't know what it is. The problem is that raid CMs are not repeatable. That's another huge discussion that I can't just whimsically throw out because I'm not entirely sure on how I feel about all of that. I don't think it is as simple as, oh, just add CMs, because I don't think the raiding population is large enough to split through CM and non-CM runs. I also don't agree that they should power creep reward. Don't make me get into this whole fucking conversation. But basically, if you add raid CMs and the rewards are really good, the community will just do the CMs en masse. That will be what most of the LFGs will be because people want the bigger rewards and they'll learn that. And I do think that the community that's there will find that. And we'll basically be in a situation where we don't have CMs and non-CMs. We'll be in a situation where it's just, this is what raiding is. And what it is a slightly more complicated experience than it used to be because the CM is kind of the default. Does that make sense? And not only is that kind of from the economy standpoint, I think what that essentially has just done is it's power crept the rewards you get from raids. And in a weird sort of non-linear way as well. And I think the balance that they've set up as baseline, and so I think that that's a rocky ship. That's one world. The other world is, well, then they make the repeatable CM rewards really shit. In which case... WP, please stop. Don't kill. All right, I'm not killing. I see it. He was jumping. In the other situation, no one wants to do the CMs because it's not worth the price hike. In which case, the loot reward. Or they hit that really beautiful middle ground where some guilds do CMs and some guilds don't. And then you're maybe in a situation where you've just split LFGs and then you've lengthened LFG time, and over time you atrophy more players. And I don't know. I just think it's a... I wonder whether the end of the road is really worth anything for the whole CM thing. So I don't know. I think the real answer for me is possibly that raids should just be emergent and dynamic and exciting on repeat playthroughs all the time. Because it's kind of a fleeting thing you're asking for as well in a lot of ways. When we ask for CM rewards, people are like, oh yeah, I want to play... what's an interesting CM that changes stuff up a lot? I don't know. I don't need to put that thought in your mind. You probably have a thought of a CM you enjoy, and you haven't played it for ages, so you're like, I want to do that again. It's kind of a fleeting thing you're asking for psychologically, because that will become old hat once you're proficient at it and your group is good and practiced at it. It will baseline just be raiding to you after a while. So, because it's a fleeting thing, what are we really asking for? Just the higher rewards? Well, that's obviously a non-starter as well. The rewards should be well balanced for what they've started with. So, do you get what I mean? Like, the actual answer is where that impulse is coming from people, I think, is we just want new and varied raid experiences. That's what we really want when we ask for CMs. We just want to shake up raiding because it's getting a bit boring, because they're not putting content in quick enough, yada, yada, yada. So I think that impulse, that desire for more CMs, for most people, is fixed just by making new wings. And then we get to the real problem, I think, which is that wings do not come out fast enough. I think if they can tackle that, the CM desires die down a little bit. You would definitely have players like me who don't like seeing one and done content. I don't like seeing one and done content anywhere. Christ, most streams I'm ranting about that. But I think for a large level of the raiding community, most of that impulse for CMs would subside with just... And again, let me get back to that word dynamic. The best raid encounters are the ones that continue feeling a little bit different even once you've got them down pat. When it's not just rote, easily trivialized, boom, 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 done. When it's like constantly feeling a little bit variant. So what's the most representative? Like Samurog is one of the worst ones for this reason. Once you know Samurog, it's very basic, simple encounter. It goes the same way every time. And it's really not interesting to do on repeat. However... what's the most dynamic raid boss for after the practice phase is done? Once you've done progression, what's the most dynamic raid boss, I wonder? Maybe Desmina a little bit, maybe? You think Doom? Matthias? Matthias is pretty dynamic. Yeah, but you guys get... so, look, people are responding in chat, so you know what I mean. What you need is frequent raids, wings coming in, but also ones with really good design that have that dynamism there, so that the same wing can keep people feeling fresh and engaged for as long as possible, and also you're getting that stuff out. And I think that the whole CM, repeatable CM discussion comes secondary to all of that. I think that it's just, you know, it's a symptom, not the cause. So that's what I would say, you know. I think that Wing 4, for what it's worth, had a lot of really great ideas, but the tuning has removed that. Like Massar Overseer probably could have been, and especially MOCM, probably could have been exactly that. You know, I think it was Crystal Reed said that was one of her favorite encounters. And she's probably right to say that. Most of us will scoff at that and be like, MO, it's a fucking golem. We just move through it in seconds. But that's only because of the tuning. And the devs' fear to go back and retune this shit is another discussion we can have. But if MO was tuned differently, I can really see that as having that dynamism week in, week out, you know. Where it feels a little bit changing as we go through. So, yeah, you know, that's how I really feel on that. That's how I think I feel. I don't know for sure. It's a massive discussion, which you've just dragged out of me. But, yeah, I'd love to see some, I mean, I don't even care much about raiding that much anymore. I'd love to see people who desperately care about it really sitting it down, doing some video essays and stuff like that. Most people don't think that closely into it, though, I don't think. In some ways, I think what I've just offered is kind of an easy, oh, just make better content, which is kind of a fucking cop-out. But you get what I mean. Most of us never fought MO before they nerfed it 2 weeks before release. Yeah, I mean, I remember my progression through Wing. I don't play with amazing experts. I play with a bunch of friends, and we don't put many hours into it. So my experience of raiding is not smooth all the time. And I remember when Wing 4 came out, it was really fun, MO, to be honest. We didn't get that instantly. It was pretty cool. But, you know, once you're practiced and efficient with that stuff, he definitely is one that you just saw. And, like, you know, various strats and stuff, Gorseval fell into this as well. You know, once the tuning falls a little bit, I know it's very exciting the first time you do a no updraft Gorseval, but frankly, when that's the status quo kill, it makes Gorseval really shit and boring. Gorseval's pretty exciting if you're still having to butch clench and interact with a lot of his mechanics. I think Sabbath is one of the more better designed bosses as well. But she struggles as well with... I mean, they're all... Wing 1, certainly. Tuning issues are all over the shop. A lot of you won't believe it as well, but Dungeons felt the same too. Dungeons had some fun elements to them, but balance and just proficiency eliminates them in many ways. A lot of it's about how they bake it in, but I think a lot of it's as well is the raid team need... I mean, this is the other discussion. How do you feel about this, chat? ArenaNet clearly don't go back and retune old encounters. They do add QOL to old encounters. So, like, they added that yellow effect when you're standing in the Veil Guardian's blue teleports. I haven't talked about that in any stream or videos, so my big fans probably might not know if I'm your primary source for Guild Wars, but... they do go back and add old things, but they don't retune stuff. They haven't got the bollocks to say, all right, people are killing Veil Guardian too quickly. Let's put more health on him, or let's do this, or or they don't do that. What do you guys think about that? Because I think that's gross to me. I think that you know, that this whole thing, no gear treadmills in Guild Wars, no invalidating old content, scaling everything. That shit doesn't matter if they don't go back and tend to their old releases. I reckon you could probably be quite entertained. Like, there's another thing going on with raids right now, where the Call of the Mist thing. Once we get a few more wings, it'll be pretty interesting. Where the point is, the newest wing you get double rewards, and a rotating old wing you get double rewards. So your idea is you're incentivized to go back to one old wing and the newest wing as you go through, and that's cool. But the old wings are really boring now because they're just too easy. But if they at least had that TLC, maybe you'd have higher raiding population retention because it's still fun to VG instead of just hold him in the middle and kill him. Do you get what I mean? So I don't know. And outhill all greens and stuff. But they don't do that, and I wonder why they don't do that. I get it because it's a fear, right? The only thing I can speculate is that it's a fear that audiences will be annoyed the devs dare make the game harder. But that feels very, very off to me. WP, we know this is an easy game. 6 on star. What is this? I'm gonna stay up at the thing because they'll want me to trigger it again. My comments have been negative since I mentioned WoW. ANET doesn't have the budget. You think it's a budget reason that they don't go to old releases? I don't know, man. Oh, is that a bit of a joke? I mean, something clearly is going on with raiding and stuff. Clearly. I mean, they're not telling us the whole story. Clearly. It was not in their plans. Blatantly was not in their plans to have wings coming out as slowly as they are. Is it just spaghetti code? Is it just too unwieldy to make stuff? Are they too creative in their designs? Is there some other kink in it? I don't know what it is. But, basically, they got 3 wings out and they were doing awesome, and then something happened. Something happened after that. Yeah, we heard the crystal doesn't work there anymore, but that, I mean, they still have teams and stuff, right? I don't know. This is now where the discussion takes that turn where it's like, okay, how much do we speculate about human beings and their jobs? It's just weird to me to shuffle resources away from raiding because it feels like such high bang for your buck in terms of player base. Time spent for content. Like, come on. I love the lore and I love that we're getting a story. I really do. And I love that they put priority emphasis on it. But let's be honest. Most Fairweather players are going to spend 20 minutes in a Living World instance and then leave it forever. You get 20 minutes of play time out of that person. You release a raid wing. Not everyone interfaces with it, no. But the people that do are going to play the dick out of that for a long time. Like, you get such a high bang for your buck because they're making mechanically interesting content. It just seems weird to me. How is that not worth investing in? It's the same with not investing in PvP anymore. Like, you get a baseline setup for PvP, and it's just a farm for retention, isn't it? It's just so good. But they're focusing on this weird, like... They'd rather run water through a sieve than sand in a bucket. And as well, if you think about it, a lot of raiders don't like mentioning this. I will, though, and I'll be perfectly candid about it. The more wings the devs add, the slower they can put new wings in. You know, once there are 10 raid wings in the game, fuck it, give us only one a year. That's such a huge variety of content if it's well tended to and dynamic and interested. You know, the more they add, the more they can get away with not adding more. It works in their favor the harder they work on it, if that makes sense. But it seems like they've pulled the resources way too quick. Alright, are we ready? I'm not going to finish this whole run here, guys, because I've got to go pretty soon. I've got to deal with some real-life stuff, unfortunately, and we're already 2 hours, 20 minutes in. I'm really sorry that we're not going to see Spud1 finish capping this. I guess what will happen when I end streaming, though, is people might get bored and leave in-game, and we might be able to complete it. The GMs must be having a migraine right now. It must be really frustrating. I just want you guys to know that I'm really impressed with how this has gone, and I'm really happy that we're making a cool event out of it, even if it's not gone how we imagined. I hope you see me having to stop as an asset rather than a downside, though. But does it really, WP? Most people don't raid, and maybe these people are the ones that go buy gems. I mean, that's an interesting point. That's why I argue for other stuff. That's why I argue for looking at core. They could get a lot more people raiding if the core experience of Guild Wars 2 felt more like raiding and taught them about it and didn't intimidate them and had them have... If literally Corteria did the basic thing of getting you to find a guild and friends and be sociable, raiding retention goes up. That's all it has to do. If Corteria can get people into a guild and happy and with friends, you'll find more people in fractals and more people in raids. Because they're in a community, and those communities will tend towards the end game stuff, and they'll drag one another in. The community will work itself out. Just at least make a game that makes you be sociable. Just do that, at least. It's got nothing to do with teaching people how to get good. It's got nothing to do with casuals. It's got nothing to do with people spending more hours than one another. Literally just find a way for Corteria to get people into guilds and friendships. Every aspect of MMO gets a higher population. Every part of it. Please start it. All right, here we go.
Welcome to Windswept Haven, Commander. Even
it really is that simple. I believe in that.
Fight. Here's the situation. A contingent of Palawa
just do shit like Guild Wars 1 did, where there's a quest that it's like, all right, you don't get this skill unless you're in a guild or you learn how to party with someone or, you know, any of that. All right, here you go, Spud. I believe in you. The hardcore players that wanted raids were the players that farmed dungeons to non-stop and got tons of golds. They don't rarely use money on the gem store. That said, I mean, you might be right, actually. You might be right that the most dedicated raiders are all rolling in cash. The other fact is, raiders get ascended shit thrown at them, so they have no need for gold. I mean, I know that's true for me. And fractal players, anyone dedicated in those areas of endgame just does get tons of rewards. So there's no way you'd really spend gems on gold. I do occasionally, but only because I do silly stuff like guild hall decorations and things. And just randomly give 250 gold away on a stream or spend 100 on a guild hall swap, stuff like that. But generally speaking, I think you are right. If I think about my friends who are good at the game, most of them are fucking cheapskates, to be honest. So that might be true. I'd hate to think that it's about that, though. There must be a little part of a game or a company that dies the second they have to start enacting decisions based on profit rather than what they truly believe is a fun and good game. Surely, right? But everyone has to do that eventually. I should listen to some good podcasts or something, man, where there's like decent interviews with game devs that are, you know, that have slimy publisher relationships and they talk about this. Because, you know, speculating about hearts and minds and motivations from managers in ArenaNet is never going to get you anywhere. But maybe, you know, stuff like, what was that blog from that guy that was being forced to work crazy amounts of hours because of E3, because of EA. You know, that kind of dirt, that kind of juice. Let's get some of that. That one I did reveal from an auto attack, and I know that, and I did that deliberately because I didn't have max Malifs before the Death's Judgment, so. That one I fucked up as well because I revealed myself from the F2 because I'm just being a moron trying to read chat. If I get a bit closer in, they might give me some quickness, which is good for one of our traits. I can't copy past this forever, but I'll try now. WP, what happened to the Deepstone video? Nothing. I was actually thinking about that 2 days ago. I'm still going to make it. I've spent most of today making the Let's Play, though. I'm still going to make it. We are going to see Deepstone. Don't worry. I'm actually really looking forward to doing that. I'm going to raise here. Because it'll be a nice thing to reassure people who don't like my LP that I make things other than the LP. So I will do one. I know you have to leave. Do you have time to do a Spud 2 guild upgrade? I feel dickish even asking because it sounds like you got a plane, Takesh. If I leave this squad now. Alright, good luck, guys. Good luck, Spud 1. What a bizarre stream. Good luck. I believe in you all. I believe in you. So while the European players struggle, the North American bad boys are already home, and we'll just do an upgrade for them very quickly. Will I eventually LP the raids? Very good question. I don't know the answer to. One of the few things that I still don't know about the LP. I really don't. Finding the correct format for it might be a nightmare. And also, as you know, I don't really like covering things I already covered. And I'll toot my own horn here. I think my lore-based coverage of the existing wings is pretty fucking spot on out already. So I don't know whether it's worth it. Who doesn't like the LP? Barely anyone watches the LP compared to other stuff. I'm really glad that you like it a lot, but it's that kind of long form thing that I'm hoping will grow over the years, and I'm proud of, and I will continue to make. But there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, it's just a Let's Play channel. I didn't subscribe to Let's Plays." That's a fairly common comment I got. Right, let's do... People keep telling me about the mine, but I still think it's a terrible idea because I don't trigger upgrades much. So we'll go do a bit more PvP. Twitch, YouTube. Well, listen. The people who watch me on Twitch are the smallest by far. It's like Twitch is tiny. You guys are the 1% of the 1%. The Let's Play is the 1%. Well, the Let's Play isn't the 1%. It's a lot higher than that. But then the Let's Plays are fairly low proportion. And then most people are just, oh, a news video. Yay. That's what most people are these days. So, you guys, you know, you're the top dogs. You're the big dicks. It's good to see you guys. Who doesn't like one of those? Wrong guys. Wrong. No, I want to leave. I still haven't done an arena event with mounts. I still want to see what it feels like to be attacked by a raptor. Or to be jumped on by a Rollerbeetle or something. I still think that was going to be awesome. God, I gotta be quick. What time is it? Oh, shit. Yeah, I gotta be quick. It's not about size, WP. I'm not hung up about it. I'm just saying what the situation is. Alright, fear turrets. Allow decorators in the arena to place turrets that apply fear. We needed wolves. It cost mithril, wood, totems, elaborate totems, and mystic crystals. Boom. Congration. Arena ring out barrier. Add an option for the obstacles coordinator to turn on a boundary around the brawling area to prevent ring outs. Now, that one's kind of special. And then we can't buy this because we don't have 15 corrupted lodestones. That one's kind of special because if I show you... The ring out barrier on this, unlike on the others, is not a ring out barrier, it's a ring in barrier. So as you see now, this hole we've built a grating over it in the middle, above the sand shark pit, which would auto kill you before. So now it's a big flat arena. Really, really cool. An awesome twist, and the special sort of what's the French term? Anyway, the special aspect of this arena that the others don't have. So there you go. The arena is covered. There you go, Jules. I'm glad you're happy with that. Can we catch any kind of animation here as well, maybe? Do you think they added one? Let's see.
No free samples.
Deactivate the boundary. No, there's no animation, but I'm still pretty happy with that. And just think about the tech that they're using there, by the way, and how that could be constructed anywhere else in these halls. Yeah, je ne sais quoi. I was thinking that, but I don't think that's correct. That's quite what I was thinking. Just remember, WP, we are the raiders, while the rest of the people are the 20 minutes every 3 months. Maybe, yeah. I mean, listen, I like our echo chamber, though. I think it's cool. And let's keep it swirling around. Let's keep it swirling for a few more years until we have some truly insane ideas. Okay? That thrills me. Thanks, guys. Good luck to Spud 1. I hope you enjoyed. One last chance for the straw poll. What we do tomorrow, same time, can be determined there. Click the straw poll. Let me know. And I'll be back in 24 hours. See you next time, guys.